Call to order.
Ms. De La Vega,
Present.
Ms. Perez, Mr. Rodriguez,
Present.
Mr. Tumidor is absent. Mr. Zogby.
Here.
Mr. President, you have enough members to conduct business.
Thank you so much. Thank you for closing the doors back there. Appreciate that. Roll call, excuse me, invocation led by you.
Lord, we ask for your continued blessing upon our city. We ask that you grant the members of this council wisdom and understanding in every decision they face. Amen.
Thank you. And our new elected councilwoman, please lead us in our pledge of allegiance.
Of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next item.
Meeting guidelines. All lobbyists must register with the city clerk. As a courtesy to others, please refrain from using cellular telephones or other similar electronic devices in the council chamber. A maximum of 3 speakers in favor and 3 speakers in opposition will be allowed to address the council on any one item. Each speaker's comments will be limited to 3 minutes. No signs or placards in support of or in opposition to an item or speaker shall be permitted within the council chamber. Any person interested in making comments or posing questions on matters of public concern or on any item on the agenda may do so during the meeting. Members of the public may address the city council on any item pertaining to city business during the comments and questions portion of the meeting. A member of the public is limited to 1 appearance before the city council, and the speaker's comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Individuals should be respectful of the elected officials and staff and make every effort to speak with a moderate tone using appropriate language and avoiding personal attacks. Members of the public in the audience shall refrain from shouting or making remarks from their seats to the mayor, council members, or staff sitting on the dais. The public can view public meetings on the city's YouTube page.
Thank you. Please, this time, just so you can know, everybody, whoever's going to make a comment or a conversation, please, it's going to be 3 minutes. And please, this time, any disrespect for anybody will be immediately handled going forward. So please do what you got to do. Thank you.
The first registered speaker, or the only registered speaker, is Olinda Lichtenberg.
Yes, ma'am. Welcome. Name and address, please. Name and address. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. 1740 West 72nd Street.
Thank you, ma'am. Welcome.
Thank you.
Please.
Oh, okay. Yes. I am a senior citizen, longtime resident of the city of Hialeah and taxpayer. I am here to respectfully request a waiver of a $250 code enforcement fine and to advocate for procedural reforms in code enforcement. For the past month, I have been trying to resolve this fine. I never saw the original violation notice. I was told it was hung on my gate, but probably the wind or rain likely carried it off. On Saturday, October 11 afternoon, I found on my door a notification from the Postal Service advising that it not deliver one of my emails because a signature was required. Because of my work schedule, I was not able to pick up this mail until the following Saturday, 10/18/25. Imagine my surprise when I found out that it was a notification of a fine. Right away, I called and left a message on the voicemail of code enforcement and follow up with phone calls on Monday, 10/20. When I finally reached the inspector that assessed the fine, he informed it was due to my car parked on my driveway without a tag. I informed I did not know that it was illegal because my car was parked facing my backyard, inside my driveway, enclosed by a gate. Therefore, it was not jeopardizing the lives of any residents, as stated on the code enforcement form. I also expressed that 250 was very hefty. He says he will re-inspect and see what he could do for me. I asked if covering the car will fix the problem, and he said yes. Despite my quick compliance, follow-up was hampered by poor communications and delays, causing the short window to request a hearing to expire. Every time I called, when the inspector informed he was too busy to come to my property to verify if the correction was made. Even when I came to see him on November 3rd, he said he was very busy, but he was going to try. Finally, when on the morning after I called on November 5th, the inspector called me on the afternoon stating he finally went to my property on that day, confirmed the car was in compliance, but that he lacked authority to waive the fine because his supervisors were the only one that could do it. One of them returned my call and assured me they would address it, but as of today, nothing has been resolved. Please note, if the mailman would have not done his job right, I would have had no idea to this day that I had a code violation. When asked why I was not giving a warning before assessing the fine, I was told they do not need to do that. When I asked why the inspector did not leave a notification on my door the day when he went to my property, I was told they left it hanging on the gate, and if I did not see it, could be that the rain or wind took care of it. This ordeal revealed, that's it?
Yes, ma'am.
May I?
Mayor?
Okay, well, I don't know if the president's gonna give you more time, but if you go see Lorena, she's gonna take down your information so that we can help you with your
Okay.
situation.
So could just.
Yes, go ahead and finish, ma'am.
Thank you. This ordeal revealed serious flaws in the process. I was never given a warning before being fined. Communication and follow-up were poor. As a senior citizen, I found the process confusing and disheartening. I asked that this 250 fine be dismissed and urged the board to implement reforms, improve communication, ensure proper notice and record keeping, set reasonable timelines for compliance and appeals, and show consideration for senior citizens. Please
you, ma'am.
change the current code enforcement.
Thank you, ma'am. So,
Thank you.
Lorena, can you please help her out, and also Alex? Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
There are no further registered speakers.
Next item, please.
Announcements of amendments and corrections to the agenda. The proposed ordinance for administrative item 13A and zoning item 19A have been updated. Consent items H, I, and M have been withdrawn from today's agenda.
Okay. So, next item.
Proposed resolution appointing blank as acting council member to fill the temporary vacancy on the Hialeah City Council Group 4, resulting from the results of the City of Hialeah primary election held on November 4th, 2025, and certified on November 7th, 2025, and to exercise all authority of the office of council member and to serve that portion of the term of council member until December 12th, 2025 at noon pursuant to City of Hialeah Charter Section 2.02, subsection C2.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Council President, I just want to add as a technical note and remind the members, the administration, that this is a very, very short duration appointment because there is a runoff for that seat, and the runoff will be decided on or about December 9th, and the swearing in will be on or about December 12th. So it would be for that extremely short interval.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a motion for anybody?
We only had one applicant, Alejandra Cortina.
The council can decide what you want to do with this item. You don't have to go
Well-
through with it if you want. It was on there as an option, and
Gotcha. I thought we had a vote on it.
You can, well, yes, you do need to, but if you decide, for example, if the council finds, I believe, the charter says what it says, but laws have to be interpreted reasonably. And this is, like I said, is a very, very, very short duration. We're on November 18th. So if the council decides in its wisdom that the interval of time is of such short duration that there's insufficient time, you you simply decide not to move forward. But I think it's our duty just to report it to you and tell you that, certainly for,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. Council? Have a motion to move forward as far as not,
Does no motion, through the chair, no motion constitutes as no vote, right?
Yes, if there is no motion to move an applicant or, yes, there's
Okay.
no vote, no action.
Thank you, sir.
Well, if you don't act on it, yeah, you can do that. But if you don't act on it, you're in effect saying that you're not going to appoint someone for that. Which
So
I
then-
think would,
Right.
thank you. Councilwoman?
Through the chair, and I'm sorry because I was speaking to Frank, but how many applicants did we have?
One,
Which was
Alejandra
Okay, I
Cortina.
saw that one. I mean, I'll just say that, I think Alejandra is a great candidate. I think she's a great person, seeing her work in the community, but I do think the time frame is very short, right? So I think, this would be the only meeting. So I think, and 9th, okay. I don't think Alejandra is here. I haven't seen her. But I do think it's a short period of time. I think we have also, we're currently in the process of that election. So I would think right now it doesn't make sense to appoint
Okay.
somebody at this time. So my vote would be no.
Thank you. So we don't have a motion? Move on, please, to the next item.
Item 10A, election by the city council of one of its members as council president pursuant to section 3.01 subsection C of the charter of the city of Hialeah.
Thank you. So my recommendation also, this is to be tabled when we have a full council.
Motion.
You got a motion?
Sir, would that be until January
Yeah,
13th?
13th, I'm sorry. We have a motion. Can I have a second?
I second.
Thank you. Please take roll.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez. Motion carries. The item is postponed until the city council meeting of January 13th, 2026.
Thank you.
and Mr. President, if I may add, you do want to take it up at that earliest opportunity because of the charter language about appointing someone. And by past practice, I believe that what you've done is we've just continued with the officers we have now until that time.
Correct.
All right, thank you.
Next item, please.
Election by the city council of one of its members as council vice president pursuant to section 3.01 subsection C of the charter of the city of Hialeah.
Thank you. Council, can we have a motion to table?
A motion for table, yes.
Motion,
And I
have a
second
second,
that.
please?
Motioning, yeah.
Please take roll.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes,
Mr. Zogby.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is postponed until the city council meeting of January 13th, 2026.
thank you. Next item, please.
Proposed resolution reappointing Diego Perez as a member of the Planning and Zoning Board for a 2-year term beginning on June 29th, 2025 and ending on June 28th, 2027.
Thank you. I do want to say something. He is my appointee and Diego, where's Diego at? Sorry. And Diego, it's an honor to appoint you again or try to get your votes. You've been a hard worker, always there on time. And I want to thank you for the years of services you've been at the board. How many years is it already?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Diego
Name and address,
Perez.
please.
I have been honored.
Name and
in-
address, sorry.
Oh, name and address, Diego Perez, 501 Palma Avenue, Planning and Zoning Board.
Thank you.
I have been honored and privileged to serve the city for 30 years,
For 30 years.
being reappointed over and over and over again. I think I have proven my loyalty,
To the city.
wisdom, and my services. So thank you. If you all reappoint me again, I won't let you down.
Thank you, Diego. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Motion.
Sir, this item requires 5 votes.
Diego?
I'll vote twice.
We gotta wait. I did not know that.
I guess,
I'll see you.
Next meeting.
January 13th.
You can see me tomorrow.
So actually, I did not know that, Diego. We need a five.
That's okay. You can see me tomorrow in the planning zoning meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is that 1
Was
second?
it till January or till December that you?
We
wanted to
can postpone till December and hopefully we'll have 5 council members present.
Okay, let's postpone to December then. Thank you, Diego. So next thing,
So item 11B, we'll read it into the record, but it's the same situation. We don't have sufficient members to approve the item. Proposed resolution reappointing Esmaili Iglesias as a member of the Planning and Zoning Board for a 2-year term beginning on September 10th, 2024 and ending on September 9th, 2026.
thank you. Next item, please.
The consent agenda?
Yes. Council?
Oh, motion.
So there is an item, that because of the code and where my employment is at, I want to make sure that there's no conflict of interest in that, and there isn't, but
There isn't any conflict of interest, as I understand from you, council member. You work at the same company as this gentleman who was being considered for,
it's for the insurance.
it's for the insurance. Okay.
Right, so I
Oh,
don't,
all right. Okay.
so do I
that-
need to abstain from that?
So the conflict of interest arises, I'll make it very simple. Under state law, when the vote in yours that is accrues to your private or pecuniary interest, if your employment, and I don't know that offhand, but if your employment has nothing to do with whether this goes to that firm or not, in the sense that it will not affect your compensation in any way, no bonus, no extra, you do not have a conflict under state law.
Correct, right. There's no
Or-
conflict.
All right. So because there is, right?
Correct, there is not a conflict.
There's no conflict under the applicable law.
Okay, got a motion? Can I have a second?
Second.
Please take roll. Thank you.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Motion carries. The consent agenda has passed.
Thank you. Next item.
Second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance providing a relief of $200 as is set forth in the annual budget to City of Hialeah property owners within the city who have a current homestead exemption under section 196.031 Florida statutes, payment to be made by the city 60 days after adoption, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, providing for an effective date, and a sunset clause.
Thank you, council. The second reading?
Yes.
Sorry. Name and address?
Jose Alzi, 788 Southeast Park Drive. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to, congratulations to everybody that won. I first want to thank Councilwoman Perez and Councilwoman De La Vega. The Department of Transportation is doing a big project. They're going to do ramps over the June Road to free up the traffic for the Freedom Park, so the June doesn't have no stop. And Councilwoman Perez's daughter was sick and she came, and it was Melinda's anniversary, Ms. De La Vega's anniversary, happy anniversary, and she came to the meeting, so I want to thank you for that. Yeah, this is not a good idea at all. We barely have employees as it is right now. It's very hard for the department. You weren't here last meeting. I showed pictures when I was the director of Wild Park. Before we had Center Director Tools, before you had to prove yourself in a little park to be a big park. Now Bober thinking he could privatize it. All you need for a park manager is a GED and 1 year experience, which privatization hasn't worked because now we'll get into that later. The person that spoke right here now about the code enforcement doesn't have enough officers. I know Caleb Rodriguez, the supervisor, because I walk my dog, I'm pretty aware of my issues. They have excellent code enforcement, but they need more. Another issue, like illegal, those commercial vehicles, I have Chief Jose Torres as my witness. We always have illegal commercial vehicles in my neighborhood. And just one truck that they kept moving them around, it probably took the police department like 20 hours of work just to have one truck towed, because you got to give them warning. Like the law is really, really hard. Code enforcement laws are really hard. So we need more police officers. And then the trash, I had another incident with the trash. Because when they do illegal dumping, right, they have to send an officer. The next day they were there. And these people that had thrown away a bunch of furniture, and when the code enforcement came, they put half of it in the one corner, and then the inspector had to come again. The reason why I'm saying all this is there's a lot of man hours every time somebody complains about illegal parking or trash, illegal dumping, or the lady, I'm sure she had a concern, but I'm positive that the code enforcement, they don't have enough officers. You know, you got to tackle like the fires, right? We're putting out fires, and when we had the budget, you were warned, now we need to put more money in the budget, like we need. And Ms. De La Vega, like you wanted more recreation staff. We only have one pool operating because we don't have lifeguards. So how are we going to keep removing staff? And whenever you get a complaint, the lady that was brave enough to come here and give the complaint about code enforcement, there's a lot more complaints going around the cities, but you don't have officers, you know, just like that one issue. I hope you ask Mr. Torres how hard it is just to tow one illegal commercial vehicle. How many man hours it took the police department? It's a lot of man hours, and we need more money, not less money. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, sir. When you got it, right?
Eric Johnson, Hialeah Firefighters, Local 1102. Ladies and gentlemen, the council, I have remained quiet for many months on the issue of givebacks or millage reductions. But it's time to make a public stance. The bottom line is it is great to be able to give back the money, but the timing has to be perfect. In the city, the timing is not perfect. I have said it before. We are actually all taxpayers. May you live in Broward County, Palm Beach, Dade County, Hialeah, and we're all up to here. But the cuts that we would potentially make today will have an everlasting effect on the services that we can provide in this city. It's not just the fire department. It's the police department. It's parks. It's code enforcement. It affects every single department of why all these directors are sitting in a room. Unfortunately, most of them won't come up here and speak because it's their jobs on the line. That's being real. It's being real. I'm going to speak because I think most of you know me and I've got a big mouth and I'm going to say something. Training, retention, recruitment. Hialeah cannot keep its employees. Categorically, we're paid 30% lower than any surrounding municipality around us doing the same job. And the truth of the matter is we do more for less, and we do it with less. I've always said I will take a Hialeah employee and put them up against 10 other employees, and we will outwork them. We will outsmart them. We will outmaneuver them because we have done so much with so little for so long, we make it work. I don't think the votes on the council will make a determination on this give back tonight, but heed my warnings. We have been down this road before. Before it ended up with furloughs and pay cuts. It ended up with 120 employees leaving the city at one time, which cost our pension system, I believe, almost $60 million of an increase in unfunded liability because of irresponsible decisions made by this council. I will say what I've said in the past. We are in the position we are in today, not because of the employees, not because of the residents, not because of the department heads, not because of anybody here. We're here because of bad governance. Let's not make the same mistakes that we have made in the past. Heed the warnings. And by the way, to Officer Devin Jaramillo and his family, the young police officer in Miami-Dade who lost his life in a struggle in Southwest Miami-Dade, I'm going to say it again. I was up here 2 weeks ago saying the same thing. Please keep these first responders in your prayers. That's 24 hours a day and 365 days a week doing their job. They are watching over you.
Thank you. I agree. Yes, sir.
He's absolutely right. We're currently, for this fiscal year, subsidizing $13 million worth of water increases, rate increases that we got from the county. but unfortunately, those subsidies are coming from the general fund. This would represent this $200 rebate would represent another $6 million coming from our general fund. And it wouldn't really represent a significant relief of any sort. And it would only be for residential property owners. And some very concerning news is coming out of this year's session, which at the state level, while we were talking about relief for seniors, perhaps in our property taxes and all that, the state is going to go the extra mile. There are proposals from different House members, and I'm sure there'll be proposals from Senate members at the state level in the legislature that will slash property taxes drastically. So that won't affect this fiscal year, but it'll affect next fiscal year starting October of 26. So we have to be ready and have as much money in our coffers as we possibly can, because we're going to be collecting a lot less ad valorem property taxes, which we use to provide the services that we have promised our community. And I don't know how we're going to navigate that, because there's going to be exemptions doubled everywhere. There's going to be a whole lot of cuts that will be statewide to property taxes, meaning, like I said, less income coming into the city, less revenue, while we are suffering the same woes that everybody else, every homeowner, every resident and municipality. Our costs are going up every year, and we're going to be collecting a lot less money come next fiscal year. So we have to be prepared. We cannot leave our general fund depleted. We have to be able to start next year with a foundation and see how we're going to navigate these choppy waters come October of 26. So I'm also opposed to that right now. Given this dire news that we're getting from the state that some people may consider good news, but I want everybody to keep in mind that the moment all these tax cuts come into play, we're going to have a lot less operating money, and we are not an abundant city. We don't have a large excess in our reserves. So that is going to drastically affect services. So we have to be prepared and start tightening our belts right now and have some savings, some reserves to go into next year with. That's all.
Thank you, Council Vice President. Council, anybody else? And I'm in agreement too. All right. What's the wish? What's council, any motion?
Well,
We're gonna have to vote on it, right? So I just wanted to give my feedback. I mean, I know, things change, right? But I will say that, I asked many times, this is not the first time, this is actually, I think, the fourth or fifth meeting, right, that we've discussed this, and we were all pushing for what I believe is still the consensus out there between our residents, which is that there is a need for relief. People are hurting, right? And I asked many times during this discussion is, would this impact our essential services, right? Our police, our fire, our parks? And I was always told no, that what it would do is, push back our projects. And although I don't believe I have the full support up here, I made a promise to the residents that I would fight for their relief, because people are hurting. So I do support this, and so I'm going to put in a motion.
If I may, through the chair, can we table the item till January, till we have a full council,
Yep, you can motion.
or till December?
it would require a motion and a vote.
Mayor, you're gonna say something?
I was just gonna respond to Councilmember De La Vega. I agree. Our point is to help the residents. The city will navigate. This isn't gonna affect absolutely nothing. And I believe promises were made during the campaign that taxes were gonna be eliminated completely in Hialeah, and that'll be worse. So $200 for each resident. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but there's many residents that see that and they hear that. And for them, it's a relief. They ask when they're going to receive it. So, but I mean, obviously, it's pleasure of the council. I know it's not going to pass today. I'm in agreement with Councilwoman that if it could be tabled December 9th, if there's quorum, or if not, January, whenever it is, but the residents should receive some kind of relief.
Okay. Can we have a motion, please?
I would motion to table the item.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Until what date, ma'am?
Until what date?
January.
I would say, till the next council meeting, which would be what,
December 9th.
December 9th.
Can I have a
Do
second?
we have the other members? We may or may not. We won't have members then?
The swearing in is December 12th.
December
Oh,
12th,
January.
they're sworn in.
So January.
December 12th.
January.
So your motion is to postpone until January
Yes, ma'am.
The 13th?
Till January
13th, 2026.
Okay, can I have
Second.
have a motion and I have a second? Please take roll.
Mr. Zogby,
No.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
No.
Did he vote no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Motion fails at the pleasure of the council.
Sounds good.
You know. It's a new item. It may be mooted now, but the technical point I wanted to make to you is, under the city laws, the $200 amount is part of a budget. So that requires 4 votes to pass. Any change to that amount, up or down, doesn't matter, is a change of the budget, and under the city laws would require 5 votes.
That's fine.
So this item did not pass, so it. Okay, thank you.
Well, Rafael, it's died on second reading, correct? We've had no action.
Yes, it's died on second reading. It would, all I said to, I was asked that, yes, someone can bring it back. It doesn't, someone
Back
can.
into first reading.
Yes,
and then
back
second
into,
reading.
yes, let me
Yes.
clarify. It died on second reading. Someone can bring it back to first reading, the way we have it now, just, first reading again, because it died, yes, to be super clear. Yes, thank you.
Administrative item 13B is postponed until the city council meeting of January 13th, 2026. Same with C. This item is postponed until the city council meeting of January 13th, 2026. Administrative item D. First reading of proposed ordinance amending chapter 98 entitled zoning, article 5, zoning district regulations, division 26, TOD, Transit Oriented Development District, and in particular amending section 98-1561 entitled Factory Town Entertainment Subdistrict Pilot Program of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Hialeah, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Okay. So motion?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Please take roll.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Ms. Perez, Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for December 9th, 2025. Administrative item 13E. First reading of proposed ordinance amending chapter 98 entitled zoning, article 6, supplementary district regulations, division 11, landscaping of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Hialeah, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for inclusion in code, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you.
Motion.
Can I have a second? Or any comments?
May I say something technical?
Yes, please.
If you have any questions, the planning director will come up and respond, but I do want to say one thing. This is about water runoff and impervious area. I hate to bring you this kind of news, but once in a while we have another larger agency mandate something. This regulation was mandated by the county, And the county ordinance provides that any city that doesn't pass the bare minimum requirements by the end of this year, that the county requires, that the county will assume jurisdiction and go into that city and enforce it. Presuming that the city would prefer to be enforcing these things itself, we have, passed an ordinance which planning submitted to the county. The county also advised that at this point in time, they're not going to be enforcing their regulations as to single-family homes and duplexes. So for the time being, we've let that be the way they are, but the planning director will respond to technical questions. But again, this is sort of a county variation of what you heard about plots several months ago. It's basically, in this case, you need to pass something that has to have these minimum standards, or we, Miami-Dade County, will come into the city and enforce this through our personnel.
Thank you. Did I have a motion?
I motioned.
Second,
Second.
please take roll.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for December 9th, 2025. Unfinished business? And under new business, we have an item that requires the council's approval. Request from the Miami-Dade County Supervisor of Elections for approval from the city council to display the official City of Hialeah seal in their lobby.
Does that need a vote?
Yes, sir.
Motion.
Second, sorry, second.
Second.
Please take roll.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Before I leave, I wanted to have a conversation about the December 9th meeting. Because I don't want the same thing that happened November 4th to happen on December 9th. And this would be the moment to decide what's gonna happen that day, if everyone's gonna be here. I mean, if we have quorum.
But what are the options?
No, it's just because I know there's elections that day. I know it's only two candidates, but I don't know who's gonna be doing what. So just wanted to put it out there and then you guys can decide.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. I'll be here.
And through the chair, if I may.
Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to take a moment. We've lost 2 officers the last month. And I think today was a very heavy day for our family in blue, that it was the funeral service of Officer Jaramillo, Deputy Jaramillo. So I just wanted to take a moment of silence, if we may, just to respectfully honor him, his family, and our community that's suffering. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, did you want, I do plan on being here unless anything changes, but I think we should go on with the meeting.
New business time.
That's it for the agenda, sir.
Actually, for new business, can I call Willie Sanchez up here, please? He can go here. Hey, Willie,
Yes, sir.
name and address, please.
900 East 56th Street, Parks and Community Engagement.
Gotcha. Willie, I got a question for you. I want to talk a little bit about the beer fest this weekend, or 2 weeks ago.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me a little bit about it, because I honestly, I'm just asking because I wasn't even aware that what was going on there.
So I need to defer to our special events team with the detail. You mean event details?
Yes. It was me, Lewis. I'm asking. So, Willie, was this advertised the same way as before? I guess because I'm just, maybe I didn't see it in social media. I wasn't aware, Georgia, what's going on with the beer
It was
fest.
Hi, George Hernandez, Division Director, Special Events. The Beer Fest has been advertised. It was advertised for about a month and a half. From the moment we got the green light, it was advertised through social media and through our radio and TV partners. And it was emailed out to all city employees and all city dignitaries and all elected officials.
Gotcha. Okay. So it was social media. What social media was used?
Instagram, Facebook, all the city social media platforms.
Gotcha. For some reason, I didn't see it And for some reason, for the
Yeah.
past couple of events since July, I'm just making a comment here too, Willie.
Okay.
I don't see, for me personally, I don't see the engagement as far as advertising as before. Because before I used to get a phone call or a conversation, I mean, I had no idea. So just to letting you know, so I was curious, did they actually invest any money on social media?
Yes, we did.
Okay. How much was it?
About $400 on ad campaigns
That's
that
it?
were done.
Okay. So
Plus,
just-
we did iHeartRadio, which is our media partner right now as well. That went on for about 3.5 weeks
Gotcha.
across all their stations.
Got it. Was it a successful event?
Yeah,
Gotcha. How many people went?
about 500 to 600.
500 to
roughly.
600? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, the special events, has always done an excellent job, but if for some reason I've noticed that, I don't know if the other council can agree, but I've noticed it before since July the 4th, I'm not seeing the engagement with the council from before. I mean, I just don't see it. So if I'm engaged or the council's engaged, we can invite more people and be more active on it. Again, maybe I didn't see the email. Probably I was running for re-election and that's probably what happened.
Okay.
But I just didn't see the engagement. I was talking to Willie about that's not with you, George, I mean, he's a director and I wanted to ask him directly because I just don't see it. And then the other days was another event. What was the event on special needs that I didn't know either? Or we didn't know.
Special need.
So special needs, I believe, and council member, I think that was I don't know if it was sent out on time.
Uh-huh.
And that's my responsibility. And I'll follow up with our special events, our special pops team to make sure they're sent out. But we
But
always,
what is, sorry, Willie, what is the protocol now?
we send the main invite, we copy administration and city clerk. City clerk sends out to
So who's responsible for sending to the council?
the council.
Mhm.
We send it to city clerk. That's procedure we follow.
Okay, so before this procedure, I guess we would get phone calls from the staff. Is that what's going on before?
The staff never has called.
I'm sorry, Council?
They've never called us.
Oh,
They've
okay.
always emailed us and added it to our calendar, and you add it to your calendar.
Okay, all right. No, I got you. All right.
Yeah.
Well, okay, and question for you.
Yes,
This
sir.
special events, I just got is there a cost to that we invested? Did we have an investment on the beer fest as city dollars?
There's a budget for it. As far as sponsorship, I don't have those details to give you,
Okay,
but those are events that are budgeted.
okay.
Yeah.
Can you do me a favor, Willie? It's the first time I'm gonna ask that. Can I have some details on the whole event, please?
Yes, sir.
How much did it cost the city?
Yes, sir.
And what was the special, and as far as advertising, exactly what advertising we used, if you don't mind,
Yes, sir.
if it could be done. I can go through to the clerk's office. if you
Yes,
know.
sir.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
We'll send it to the city clerk.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
If I may, through the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the second year that they do this event,
And I knew
and
it
it's
last year. Sorry.
you went to the last one?
No, I knew about it. It was
Oh,
awesome.
okay.
The event.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've gone both years. And what's nice about it is that it advertises small businesses that are in the area, small distributors, small distilleries. It allows them to get their label out there, kind of like the Food and Wine Festival that had, smaller vendors come out and host their products. So it's a wonderful, not only social activity, but networking business opportunity for these smaller, more niche companies. And the park really plays a beautiful part in that because there's a lot of shade, there's music. It's a really nice event.
Actually, Councilwoman, I knew you've been pushing for this a lot, so I understand. The only question is that, again, maybe it's me that I was running for, I was disconnected, but I just didn't feel the engagement. And you know how passionate I am about parks too. We're all
Yeah.
passionate about it. So I wanted to see what's going on, what investment we do. Can we invest more money or what's going on? Because I didn't feel the engagement this time around compared to the last time.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to make my voice as a concern with that. So if you don't mind, send me when you get a chance. I mean, what it cost, how the advertising, and maybe we can do something better for next time. I just didn't see it.
Yes, sir.
Maybe I will-
And just to go back and I did after we had that conversation about putting it on the calendar, I went back and spoke to all the supervisors, all the program coordinators to make sure that they send an invite and to copy the city clerk. So that was done, sir.
See, the whole idea, the council is one team, we're all one family, we all want to get it done. So when I'm not, before you used to be right in my face, maybe I was looking for it, I just didn't see it. this time.
100%.
And
100%.
again,
That's
that's
the
not to love
procedure.
anybody's, I need to see what's going on with that, if you don't mind.
The city clerk and that's the procedure we have followed since I came back. So
Tuesday of next week, you good? You can send me that? I don't want to put.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll speak
Thank
to
you.
the special events folks and get that together.
I
I'll
appreciate
send
it.
it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, and for the I'm sorry, for the record, I'm checking here on the calendar and I do have that, someone on behalf of the Parks Department send it to the entire council, through a calendar
Gotcha.
invite
Okay.
on Outlook.
Okay.
It
Awesome.
was received.
Awesome. But I guess is what, for some reason I had more information before and all events. So Willie, thank you. Next Tuesday, you submit information. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Appreciate
Yes, sir.
that.
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to know who sponsored yesterday's turkey drive. Did we have a sponsor for that?
I don't know.
Who's in charge of that? Yeah,
Hello, sir.
yes.
The senior turkey drive was supplemented, the one that we did all the senior apartments.
In Mylander.
The Mylander one was the city.
Is
It
that,
wa-
I've
It's a
never, heard-
budgeted event that we've done for many administrations throughout.
I remember in past years, it's been sponsored by clinics.
We did, we had
Confirm.
$15,000 from Leon Medical Centers that helped cover the cost of all the events.
We did have
Yes,
their contribution, their donation.
yes,
this
sir, the
time.
$15,000 contribution that went towards the morning session of all the turkeys that we've given out.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
You're welcome.
So, sorry, I got a question for you, George. And again, just so I can have an understanding, and I had to work and I couldn't go. Before I used to get a call about turkeys, if the council member wanted to give some extra turkeys for anybody for the past 3 years. This time I didn't receive the call. We were low in turkeys?
Right now, we were low in turkeys. We have been able to secure a few turkeys, and that will be coming out to you guys as we proceed.
Gotcha. So we ran out of, we gave all the turkeys out yesterday?
Yesterday, yes. I
Okay.
do have a few that we're offering to the council at 10 each.
Okay.
And in previous years, we've gone through all the turkey distributions. And once we've done the turkey distributions is when we've called all you guys to do your distributions.
See, gotcha. Thank you, George. I just think it was a lot more engagement before, and I think there's a disconnect. Something's going on. So
Okay.
I'd be a lot better than it was before. Everybody was engaged in the special events. We knew what was going on. I mean, just FYI, man.
I mean, on our side, we've continued to do the same exact engagement with council that we've done for the last
Yeah, but I.
8-9 years.
yeah,
We've sent emails, we've sent invites.
Yeah, but I received, not to call anybody out, but I received calls from special events before myself.
Okay.
And I know it's people responsible for calling us, just not a duty. I get it, but it was just an outreach. And I always had those families that we can go and just give them the turkeys, et cetera, et cetera. So I was
Okay.
counting on it. Just thank you. Appreciate
No
it.
problem.
So Willie, on Tuesday of next week, I can have that information.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
We'll task the individuals and I'll do it for you.
Appreciate that.
You're
Thank you. Next item, please.
We're moving on to zoning.
Thank you.
No. I'll just do it in English and Spanish. Will all those persons who will be testifying on an item, please stand and raise your right hand? Las personas que quisieran prestar sus opiniones delante de esta junta, por favor póngase de pie y alcen la mano derecha. Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. If so, say I do. Usted jura o afirma que el testimonio que va a dar será la verdad, toda la verdad y únicamente la verdad, y que Dios sea su testigo. Por favor, diga que sí si la respuesta es afirmativa.
Sí.
Let the record reflect that all have responded in the affirmative. En el archivo público constará que todos han respondido afirmativamente.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, just give them a second so they can close the door there. Thank you. Thank you, officer. Appreciate that. Okay. Next item, please.
Item 17A, proposed resolution approving the final decision of the Planning and Zoning Board, decision number 2025-09, allowing a rear setback of 14.2 feet where 20 feet are required for an existing addition to be legalized. Property located at 3481 East 8th Lane, Hialeah, zoned R1, one family district, and providing for an effective date.
I'm sorry, you said second reading. I missed that part, first reading.
This is a final decision, sir.
Okay, sorry.
It's a resolution.
Okay. Can, counsel?
Motion.
Claudia,
Motion?
can you come up, please?
Yes, ma'am.
If I may, through the chair.
Claudia Husband, 501 Palm Avenue.
Can you give me a little bit of background on this?
Yes, this is for a single family home. It's actually to legalize an existing a structure, an addition actually to the main house. It's not a separate structure, it's attached to the structure, so it's just an addition. The property owners are here, so if you have any questions, they have accepted all the conditions that we have asked them to basically pull permits to legalize the addition, to actually be the plans they need to be in accordance to the submittals that they have in this package. And also they need to comply with the 30% of pervious areas, and they have accepted all the conditions.
Okay, and the addition is part of the property, or it's like an efficiency?
No, it's part of the property.
It's part of
That
the
is why we ask that the plans that they submitted, whenever they go through building permitting, they have to match the plans that they submitted.
Okay.
Because everything it's connected.
Right, okay, all right, thank you. I think is there a motion?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. So, okay, second.
Roll.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 18A, first reading of proposed ordinance amending the future land use map from residential office to medium-density residential. Property located at 258 East 49th Street, Hialeah, zoned RO, residential office district, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Okay.
Through the chair.
Counsel?
Do we have a representative here? The lobbyist, William Riley? Oh, he is? Oh, hello there. I didn't see you. How many units is this? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Name and address for the record. Apologize.
Name and address, please.
Located at 164 Southwest 256th Street. It's a pleasure to be here, and Mr. Chairman, through you, I think the council member had a question for me.
How many units is this one going to be? So you could save me the trouble of looking through the backups, which.
Yes, sir. So 258, and we have two applications, are basically similar
Yeah.
applications.
Yeah.
258 East 49th Street is 4 units. I'm sorry, 6 units. And 267 is 4 units.
Are there
So-
any parking variances, Mr. Riley?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, there are. So one application, the application that is at 258 is asking for a parking variance of 1 parking space. So there's currently a medical facility on the site. It currently has 7 parking spaces serving that medical facility. We're asking to have the multifamily residential with 9 parking spaces. Right now, there's no pervious area on the site. It's basically a concrete slab, the entire property. We're gonna have almost 11% of the site as pervious area. Have landscaping, eliminate that heat island effect that is prevalent throughout the area. So the answer, long answer is yes, we have a 1 spot parking variance.
You feel okay, Claudia? Do we feel okay with that? The only reason I'm asking, Mr. Riley, is there is no street side parking here.
Yes, sir. No, there's not.
Right? No, there isn't.
We look at the property and we find that the sizes of the units are pretty small. So they're not going to attract that kind of, large families where they're going to have multiple, residents. So we feel comfortable after our evaluation.
Okay, I motion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hate to bring this up, but Mr. Riley, and
Yes, sir.
for the council, I want to bring up that in our code, and I had this in the back of my mind, this is a comp plan amendment as opposed to a rezoning. And in our code, it refers to 5 affirmative votes. So I'm referring to a section of our code that says plan amendments, except as otherwise provided by state law, shall follow the expedited review process. The city council shall conduct its first public hearing after P and Z, and a city council shall consider such plan amendment shall be by resolution approved by a minimum of 5 affirmative votes. So unless there has been another,
Rafael, sorry to interrupt you, but that's when we are sending it to the state in an expedited process. That's not the case
this
here,
one-
the resolution. So this would just be an ordinance requiring 4 votes.
okay, this is not that. Okay, well, I just wanted to bring it up because many of the amendments are expedited process, but you're certain this is not one?
Well, it would be by resolution and it's
Right,
not, it's
okay.
by ordinance.
This is not an expert, okay.
That is correct. Basically, it is not a city started resolution that we're sending the amendment. This is an applicant amendment.
Okay, no harm, no
By-
foul.
by
I
ord-
just wanted to bring it up. I understand.
We have a motion by Mr. Zogby.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Please take roll.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Zogby.
Yeah.
Ms. De La Vega.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for December 9th, 2025.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Item 18B, first reading of proposed ordinance amending the future land use map from residential office to medium density residential. Property located at 267 East 49th Street, Hialeah, zoned RO, residential office district, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
You.
Motion.
Council?
Sorry, I have a question, Mr. Riley. What is it that is going here?
So this first application is a mirror image of this application as well.
I noticed that
it's-
they're across the street.
They're across the street from each other, different property owners, but got together, same end user. This is the one I was confused about just a moment ago. This one has 4 units. So it's a 2-story multifamily building. It's also currently a medical facility that's been operating for almost 75 years at the site. Our client bought it about 20 years ago and has been the landlord since that time, but has now seen a trend of development and wants to come and propose this as a beautification to the area.
And what's next door?
Yes.
There are 10 units for this project. This is.
Madam Director, can you please,
Yeah.
can you speak into the mic, please?
I just want to make a correction. This application is for 10 residential units.
Yes.
10.
10.
Yes. The four I mentioned before, is they're less than 700 square feet. So that's what's advertised in your application, for the variance, as they are modest sized units. So we have the 6 across the street, the 10 here, and the variance request is for the 4 that is lower than the 700 square feet.
What is right next door to it?
Right next door is the entire strip
Mhm.
was originally built as homes, and over the years it's been converted to all business. So there's all commercial facilities next to them. To my best of my recollection, there's another medical facility right next to this. It's a dental office, if I remember correctly. But we have a PowerPoint presentation that I could show you where we have pictures of the area.
Sorry. If you have the pictures, I would,
Yes, if we can pull it up, please.
thank you.
That way I can, so the first image is basically the proposal that we're submitting, the 2-story multifamily building. And I wanted to thank your professional staff. We worked with them tremendously on this project to make sure that it follows your new regulations and guidelines, including art in public places, including creating the pervious area I mentioned before. We have a mural that would face the street frontage. If we go to the next slide. If we could skip through it so we can get to the next slide, please. There we go. So the property that we're looking at now is the property with the terracotta roof. And right next door, and I'm sorry, I can't read that closely, but I believe it is medical, but yeah, it's. So that's.
Family practice.
Yes, sir. So they have parking in the rear currently, as well as one parking space in the front of the building. And this property, unlike the other one, has a little bit of pervious area, which is the strip of grass that you can see in the front. But apart from that, the rest of the property is completely paved, and it's depicted on our as-built survey that way. And this property currently has 9 parking spaces. We are proposing to increase that to 12 parking spaces. So we've worked with the staff to maximize the area, but also introduce landscaping, pervious area, additional parking, and the residential structure itself. And the parking would be contained within the ground floor, so it would be covered from view. Thank you.
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Riley, did you say this is 10 units?
Yeah, it's 10 units. We have, and I had it in my head
What's
for
the
some
mix?
reason
Yeah.
before because I wanted to introduce the 700 square feet when I was talking about the unit size. Apologies for that. But we have the 6 across the street, the 10 here, and the reason for the variance is because of those 4 units. Sorry, I misspoke for a moment.
And what's the mix on this? 2 1s, what, on the 10 unit, on the 267 East 49th Street?
So they're smaller units. They're 1 bedrooms.
Oh, they're all
and
1
studios.
bedrooms?
Yes, they're 1 bedrooms.
All 10 units?
All 10 units. We don't have any
Yeah.
2 bedrooms on this one, correct? Yeah, right. I just want to make sure I'm not confusing it
Okay.
from the sister application, but it's all 1 bedroom.
Okay. Well, I motioned during the meeting.
Yes, we have a motion by Mr. Zogby.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Please take roll.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for December 9th, 2025.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a second read.
Zoning item 19A, second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance rezoning property from R3 multiple family district to R33 multiple family district, granting a variance permit to allow a living unit where parking spaces are provided, allow an existing structure with the following setbacks: rear setback of 6.91 feet where 20 feet are required, an interior east side setback of 2.1 feet where 10 feet are required, an interior west side setback of 1.2 feet where 10 feet are required, allow a proposed 3-story structure with the following setbacks: a front setback of 17.41 feet where 25 feet are required, an interior east side setback of 2.66 feet where 10 feet are required, an interior west side setback of 5 feet where 10 feet are required, allow a total lot coverage of 46.80%, where 30% is the maximum lot coverage allowed, and to allow 6 parking spaces where 7 parking spaces are required, all in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, sections 98-595, subsection B, 98-591, 98-590, 98-589, 98-2189, subsection 19B, and 98-2203, subsection A. Property located at 76 West 14th Street, Hialeah, zoned R3, multiple family district, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Items in second reading and open for public conversation.
Jose Peña, I'm the owner of the property. My address is 13110 Southwest 118th Street, Miami, Florida, 331 East.
This is on second
Counsel.
reading. Wasn't this item added today?
Oh,
The 19A.
This item was approved on first reading by the council on October 14th.
Okay, no, I thought on the first page it said we added,
No, this is a-
Oh, no, that we
This-
amended the proposed ordinance.
okay, so what did we amend?
The ordinance hasn't been amended for this project
For 19A?
from 19A. The request remains the same. Is exactly the same. We don't have any amendments for the request. There's-
76 West 14th Street, right?
I was told that we updated the ordinance for this item.
The one that was updated was 1116 Palm Avenue. That was the updated ordinance.
So this is.
Okay.
This is.
That's not applicable to this item. This item was not updated.
Okay.
This is the same. We have no changes with this one.
19H is the one that was updated.
All right. So let the record reflect that it was item 19H and not 19A that was updated.
If I may, through the chair.
Yeah.
Claudia, can you walk me through the declaration of restrictions that are on the property?
Yes. Ma'am. We require them to enter into a declaration of restrictions because they are requesting one parking less. And in the code, actually in this zoning district, they are allowed to submit a 5,000 parking mitigation payment. So we can improve the on-street parkings that we have around the downtown area.
Okay. So this does have street parking nearby.
Correct.
Okay.
This is the area known as the downtown district.
Right.
So we have plenty of areas with on-street
Nearby.
parking. Mhm.
What's on the east side of this property that
Um,
has that setback that's only 2 feet to that side?
It's a single family, yeah.
It's a single family home?
In the east. Let me just double check here.
It's a multifamily like a 3 or 4 years.
Yes, it's a multifamily.
Let me see, I can't pull it up.
West is the same.
It's a multifamily? Cause that one only has 2 feet setback to that property, no?
You have.
And what's on the rear? I don't know, it's
The
not
rear,
loading
there is an existing structure and the proposal, it's asking to remain that unit in the rear. So the existing, it is 6'11", but the rear is not being modified.
Okay. And what's that structure that's a 3-story structure?
It is a residential unit.
The
And
3 stories is gonna be, and the structure in the back then remains the same.
Remains the same.
Got it.
Detached from the new one.
And what's in that detached? It's also like a residential
It is a residential unit.
as well. Got it. Okay. I can't see on the aerial here. There's a lot of like trees.
Yes, a lot of trees.
Can't see much. Okay. Thank you.
Through the chair.
Yes.
So just, and I'm trying to look at the image here, but
Don't go.
there's so many trees, I can't really see what's there, but so is there there's this property there?
Yep.
And that's coming down and it's going to be
No,
a,
no.
It
They're-
will remain the same.
The property that right
Mhm.
now is developed with a unit, a residential unit, all the way to the back.
okay, I see that. Behind the
Exactly.
trees, there's the little unit.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And that unit is to remain.
So does somebody live there?
Yes,
Is that a legal unit?
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Okay, and then the 3-story goes where?
At front where the.
Where
trees
all
are.
the trees are?
Yeah.
That's gonna be built.
Correct.
And is that for how many units?
It's
Is
a
it-
2 units,
2 units, 3 floors?
3 floors. So in the ground will be a parking space. On the second, it will be like a duplex. And this, in the second and the third floor.
Okay, so 2 units there. And so that's why we have the 6 parking.
Three units.
Right, the 2 of the 3-story and the one behind,
Exactly.
correct?
Exactly.
Correct.
And so 2 parkings per unit.
Per unit.
Okay. And then there's a one-time parking mitigation payment of 5,000,
That's
right? And what do we do with that 5,000?
we improved parking areas, on-street parking areas within the limitations of the downtown area.
Okay, so it can be scattered to another, it could be used for another project.
For another street.
For another street,
Because
okay.
it's for a parking space that is actually on the street.
Okay.
Not pertaining to a private development.
And just, you know, and I also asked because for the people watching, sometimes they don't really understand, but when does an applicant pay this fee? When they do not comply with the parking?
And this mitigation,
Mhm.
actually, we have language in only two zoning districts. In this one that is applied for the downtown and
Okay.
in the TOD areas, okay, where applicants actually can mitigate for the loss of parking that they have.
For the loss of
okay?
parking,
Exactly.
okay.
Those are the two districts that they have. In this case, we have in the code for 5,000, per parking space, which was included back in the early 2000s, which is pretty low. So I will take advantage of tell you that at some moment we should revise those numbers, because a parking space, it could be, between $20,000, $25,000 dollars, but only for those two areas, and it's to improve parking areas within the streets.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, sorry. So we got a motion? Or what's the pleasure of the council?
Motion.
Second.
Please take roll.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you. Next item, please. Caesar.
Item 19B, second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance granting a variance permit to allow the expansion of an existing non-conforming 256 square feet manual car wash business granted by ordinance 90-139, issuing a special use permit to allow said use on property zoned B1 highly restricted retail district where manual car wash use has never been a permitted use in the B1 zoning classification, where non-conforming manual car washes are only allowed on property zoned C1 restricted retail commercial district and C2 liberal retail commercial district, and where a declaration of restrictive covenants was proffered in 1990 stating that the manual car wash would comply with sections A through G of ordinance 89-81. Allow 104 parking spaces where the existing shopping center was approved with 106 parking spaces and where 115 parking spaces are required, and various permit to allow landscape mitigation of 15 canopy trees where only 4 canopy trees currently exist at the site that was originally approved with 20 canopy trees. All in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, Section 98-2189, subsection 7, and Section D 12A of the Hialeah Landscape Manual, updated July of 2025, entitled Waiver of Minimum Landscaping Requirements, Landscape Mitigation. Property located at 5350 West 12th Avenue, Hialeah, zoned B1, highly restricted retail district, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Items open for second reading and open for public conversation.
Motion. Did everything we asked.
Council?
No matter how much I put it on silence. Okay, sorry. This one's B, sorry.
This.
Hi, Caesar, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So this is a shopping center, right?
Caesar Master with offices at 8105 Northwest 155th Street, Miami Lakes, Florida. This is a car wash at West 12 and 53 that's been there since the 1980s. There was an illegal roof. There was a legal roof. The request was to allow the expansion by legalizing the big roof. The big roof has now been removed. That was one of the conditions. We have drafted a declaration of restrictions, which includes the 460-foot roof will be demolished immediately. It's already gone. There will be a new 560-square-foot roof, which will replace the permitted 256-square-foot aluminum roof. And it'll be maintained until they get the permits for the new roof. There will be a payment of mitigation of 16 trees, which will be provided upon submittal of the site plan review required for the aluminum roof replacement. Alternatively, 16 canopy trees with 12 feet to 14 feet height with 3-inch caliper will be installed on the property with the proper landscaping permit. The car wash owner shall provide security for 3 months in order to provide nuisances from occurring. We had talked about issues going on at the shopping center on first reading. And should there be any violations on the premises, the city shall hold a revocation hearing for this approval. So this has already been drafted. It's already been sent to legal and zoning, and we're just in the process of trying to execute it.
Can I make a comment, Councilwoman? So I don't know, were you here for the last reading? Okay. So one of my concerns were because in the shopping center, it had issues from before, and in the grocery store, whatever was that, they had illegal stuff going on. So I asked them, which is nothing to do with the other, to put security, to be sure to keep it clean, be one of the complaints were, so they actually applied by that. So just letting you know the pushback that originally, and they complied with it. Okay.
So as Councilman Zogby said, we've agreed to all the conditions and we've put them all in writing already.
We got a motion? Can
We
I
have a motion to approve by Mr. Zogby.
Need a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Item 19C, second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance granting a special use permit to allow a medical research center conducting clinical trials to test new drugs, devices, and other forms of treatment to operate in conjunction with an existing medical center. Property located at 4440 West 16th Avenue, Hialeah, Zone C2, Liberal Retail Commercial District, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date. This second reading.
I'm sorry. Second, items in second reading, open for public comments. None?
Sorry, I wasn't here last time, but what kind of trials? It says here, no the patient, like what kind of trials is this gonna?
I have drugs, devices, and other treatments. It's going to be operating within a Las Mercedes Medical Center already. There's a center part, which is going to be exclusively for this. We have enough parking. It's a huge parking lot. So it's just for them to conduct those within the medical.
Within the facility that they already have.
Correct.
This is like the third or fourth item that we approve that has to do with approving testing of new drugs, and I find it, do we know what type of drugs they're testing?
I think that the government puts out, or the different companies put out certain parameters. This is what we're trying to test, and I know that they have different types of clinical trials, but I don't know if they can tell you what type of drugs it's going to be exactly.
What I do know is that those clinical trials now, they've been already in more trials. They've been already for at least 2 or 3 years research before they hit this type of clinics. That's what I found out. I'm not an expert. I just read it up a little bit, literally Googled it.
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
This is not a drug rehab center. It doesn't do any drug treatment, any addiction treatment. This is a reputable healthcare chain. And 5 patients a day is, for the size of that property, is very, very low impact.
Yeah, we're
by motion.
The part of the declaration is that we're limiting it to 5 patients per day. And no overnights. And the patients will be scheduled by appointment only. There's no lines or anybody waiting to get in or anything like that.
But we don't know specifics as what we're testing.
That I do not know.
I
don't think they know until they actually accept the job of testing a particular, right? But this is all connected with government and doing trials to make sure things are right before they.
Through the chair, as you mentioned, I know that these particular facilities are highly regulated.
Right.
We don't
I
know
know.
specifically what they are. And in addition to that, I have learned that City of Hialeah is one of the few actually that require this type of a step of bringing in front of a council for a special use permit to conduct this kind of medical facilities. So we have an extra layer in case, and you have the time to ask and impose restrictions such as, no overnights and stuff like that. So we can restrict the type of research that they do.
Okay.
And as Vice President Zogby said, this is not a fly-by-night operation. This is La Mercedes clinics that they're all over South Florida. There's several in Hialeah, and this is within their purview, within their other business. So it's just an expansion of their medical place.
Understood. And I'm okay with it. It just, I guess because it's been coming up lately, I just kind of like, I wonder what we're testing. So I think just in general, right? Not even this, not even only this, but when you approve something, but you don't know what you're really approving, it's kind of hard, right? I'll approve it, or at least I'll be a yes because we've approved other ones.
Right.
I think moving forward, I would like to know exactly what we're approving. Yeah. Thank you.
I think just for your
Just because,
peace of mind, it's something that the government wants to get tested before they put it out in the market. But I don't think they would ever be able to tell you, we're going to test only this particular type.
yeah, like, are they testing for Alzheimer's? Are they testing for, right? Like, just curious what it is. Listen, clinics have gotten in trouble. I'm not saying anything about La Merced. They're very reputable, but just in general. So,
Understood.
but I don't know if there's a motion.
I'll second.
But,
I motion.
Yep.
Yeah. Mhm.
Ms. De La Vega,
yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Zogby.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Item 19D. First reading of proposed ordinance rezoning property from R1, one family district to R33, multiple family district, granting a variance permit to allow 20 units, 100%, with a total area of less than 700 square feet, or 700 square feet is a minimum required, and only 25% of residential units may have a minimum area of 500 square feet. Allow an interior south side setback of 0 feet where 15 feet are required. Allow a rear setback of 0 feet where 15 feet are required. Allow 2 parking spaces fronting East 46th Street to back out into the right-of-way where back out parking is only allowed in low-density residential properties, and allow 22% pervious area where 30% pervious area is the minimum required for the construction of a mixed-use 4-story development consisting of 20 residential units and approximately 5,818 square feet of commercial space, including a daycare facility with a maximum capacity of 112 children and 9 employees. All in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, Section 98-1630.2, 98-1630.3, subsection E2, 9-3, subsection A3, and section E of the Landscape Manual updated July of 2025 entitled Tree and Lawn Requirements by Zoning Classification. Property located at 4595 East 4th Avenue within Area 2 of the Neighborhood Business District Overlay, Hialeah zoned R1, one family district, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you.
Good evening, Cesar Mestre with law offices at 8105 Northwest 155th Street, Miami Lakes, Florida. This is the property that's located in Section 2 of the Neighborhood Business District. We came before you a while ago and my client had proposed a 6-story building that the council had some issues with. We came back with a 4-story version. The land use has already been approved. So what we're looking at now is the lot is 14,215 feet. We're going with 20 units as opposed to 21, which was the original ask. We're going with 4 floors instead of 6. The units are all 1 bedroom. The parking, we have sufficient parking. We have 22 for the residences, 20 plus 2 ADAs. There's a mixed use component. We're proposing a daycare on the bottom floor that has 16 parking spaces for that. So we have a total of 38. There's no parking variance asked for. The commercial downstairs will be 5,546 square feet. Parking will be on the second and third floor. If you can go to slide number 6, please. This is what it will look like on the corner of East 4 and 4-6, facing southeast. And the next slide. This is another view, very similar rendering, showing what it looks like. Part of the declaration of restriction or the conditions are to use diffusing elements on the south side elevation to diffuse the light from bothering the neighbors and also the noise. We have to come back with a traffic analysis regarding the traffic circulation and the parking conditions for the parking and residential. Once we are moving forward, we also have to comply with the construction and site plan timelines that are within the MBD now. And the colors have to be administratively approved by the Director of Zoning. So we have already submitted the declaration of restriction, implementing all of these conditions, which have been accepted by us. So we'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Cesar, this has been going on since I was in 4 years already, right?
It's been a while. It's been a while. It took some time to revamp it. We've been working with staff. There's 2 parking spaces that are dedicated on the first floor, on the bottom of the ground floor, to provide parking for the school, for the daycare, that back out those 2 spaces. And it was kind of a challenge to make it fit and bring it down to the 4 floors instead of the 6, but we're here now. And like I said, the land use has been approved. We've got a recommendation of approval from staff, and we have a vote, unanimous vote from P&Z for approval as well.
Gotcha.
If I may, through the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
So Caesar, the 0 setback that's on the south side and the rear side, that's facing the neighbors.
That's the neighbors to the south.
So it has no setback there, it's flush to their property.
That is correct.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not okay with that. I wouldn't feel comfortable with having that so close to the neighbors. You said that they're doing something to mitigate the light and the sound.
Yeah,
So is
they're
there
asking.
something that we're setting between the property to have that? What, walk me through that.
Let me tell you what staff has recommended and we've agreed to. Mitigate the south side elevation with proper lighting, diffusing elements to reduce the glare from the vehicular ramp into the neighboring property. Provide improved structural finishes to reduce the noise from the vehicular ramp into the neighboring properties. Submit such elements at the time of site plan. So that's what we were able to do to try to alleviate that issue. Obviously, the property next door, I don't have a picture of it, but it doesn't take up the whole side, obviously. And what's there is the ramp for the cars on that side.
Yeah. And then in the photo here, it looks like is it just like misrepresented that there's like on-street parallel parking there or no?
There will be on-street parking on 46th Street.
On 46th Street?
Yes.
Is there currently any parking on
No,
46th
there's not.
Street on
No,
any other
there's
property?
not.
This would be the only one that would have that. So I've never seen that before. So therefore, if maybe they wouldn't be those 2 parking spaces in the front, would then the property be able to shift a little bit closer to 46 instead of being right flush onto the neighbors? Is there a way to maybe adjust that?
I'm sure.
Through the chair. So basically, as Cesar mentioned, they also have a daycare on the ground level. So we actually request them that they have a drop-off area, pickup area for the daycare. So if we ask them to push the building towards the north, basically they will be losing that consideration. And in this case, I hear you with the closeness, and that's why we included those conditions, because basically at the first and second level of that south elevation, you're gonna have the majority of it of a blank wall, but then you're gonna have some openings where whenever a vehicle, comes to here, and then you can hear the noise or the
Right.
glare or something like that. So that is what I feel comfortable including those conditions.
I just don't think a daycare is even conducive for that building and that location, to be honest with you. I would think that like an office space,
Mhm.
something that doesn't have that much foot traffic. I don't, I thought we were pushing more for like the standalone daycares. I thought we were moving away from like having them incorporated and I don't know, just a little bit apprehensive with everything that's going on that busy street, that in and out. I think of the daycare is also really dangerous with kids. I don't know.
And that's why, if anything, we'll rather have that drop off and pickup area instead of pushing the building north.
Right, but the drop off and pickup would then still be on 46th Street.
Right, but in private property. They won't be impacting the lane of traffic.
Isn't the ramp at the 0 setback within the private property?
It is the ramp. So you have like basically three entrances. You have a circular driveway, and then you have an entrance for the parking spaces that are at the ground level on 46th Street.
I don't know.
Ms. Perez, can I ask some questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Through the chair, through the chair. Okay. How many students would be in the daycare?
112, right?
112 is the proposal.
112.
112 students?
Okay, so how many
112?
parkings?
112.
How many parkings for the daycare?
For the commercial, we have 16 parking spaces.
Okay, so 16 for the daycare and 22 units for the
22 for the 20 units.
20 units. Okay. So here, to me, how many parkings would we require? Like, how many parkings do we require for a school of 112 students? And how many do we require for 20 units?
Just remember, I just want to bring out a little
Okay.
distinction. You guys treat, the code treats the schools different than the daycares.
Okay.
There's different
Okay.
parameters for each one.
Okay, so but
And-
this is a daycare, right?
And the move that I have seen you guys make over the last few years is for the standalone schools,
Okay.
not the daycares. That just want to clear that up.
This daycare would be from birth to kinder?
2, 3.
Okay, so true
That-
daycare, not kindergarten, not first. Okay,
If they want to have kindergarten, they need to come before you again
Okay.
and get a conditional use permit.
okay. So, Claudia, how many parking spaces do we require for a daycare of 112 students?
13 parking spaces.
Okay, 13, and we have 16. And then how many, these are one bedrooms, right?
Correct.
And what do we require in our code for 20 units?
2022.
We require 22. Okay. What I foresee, and this is, dropping off the kids, daycare, it's strollers, I foresee us having a really big parking issue here. I know that we went from 6 stories to 4 stories, right? Which that in itself is definitely an improvement because of the residents around there, right? But we didn't change the amount of units, which means in some of these units, there's gonna be 2 people living there. 2 people usually means 2 cars.
Well, we reduced the units by 1. We did reduce it by 1.
Okay.
And they're smaller units. They were a little bigger before.
But I would say in most of these units, most of them, you will have some that have 1 person, but in some of them, you'll have 2, right? So where are all these people gonna fit parking wise, which is,
The only answer I can give you
okay,
is we comply with the code. We're not asking for a parking variance for either component, either the residential or the commercial. We're complying with what the code requires.
yeah, and then I personally think something's off here. How do we only require for 20 units that we may have 40, 50, 60 people living in? How do we only require 22 parking spots?
The differentiation is in the size of the unit. The smaller the unit, the less parking that you're required. And that is what we modified. Of course, if you have larger, units in terms of size of the unit, if you have 1,000 square feet, or actually the code says that from up to 700, you require one parking space. From 700 to 1,000, you require 1.5 parking space.
Okay, so
Then
these units are at 700.
Even less. Yeah.
They're at 600 and something.
Okay. Thank you.
Motion.
Can I have a second, please?
My phone keeps.
Get it. Got it? Oh.
And can I make a comment?
Yes, sir.
And I understand the argument makes a lot of sense. But that's our ordinance now. And the petitioner is abiding by the parking spaces required. That may be something that later on we could look at, which is worth looking at. But right now, they're not asking for a parking variance. And that may be something we need to address in the future as far as changing that ordinance, because yeah, that could be the case. But in this case, they're abiding by that. They're not getting a parking variance, and that's the only reason that and they're not getting a variance for the daycare. So that's one of the only reasons. It looks like a pretty building, but I get the density. That's the only reason I'm motioning for it, because right now it would be unfair to deny it in a way, because they are complying with NBD, the NBD ordinance as far as the development in this area.
I second. You have a motion already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a vote,
second.
please.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for December 9th, 2025.
And Councilman Zogby, you bring up a good point. I think this type of project, right, shows, because we get so many complaints about, parking.
I
And
agree.
people parking on the street and people parking on our sidewalks. So
Yeah.
this brings up a good point of where a building that might have a significant amount of residents where we may not have the correct calculation for parking.
Yeah.
Item 19E, first reading of proposed ordinance granting a variance permit to allow the construction of a single-family home on a substandard lot having a total area of approximately 5,440.8 square feet, where 7,500 square feet is a minimum required. Allow a lot width of 40 feet, where 75 feet is a minimum required, and to allow a front setback of 20.17 feet, where 30 feet are required. All in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, Sections 98-499 and 98-348, subsection A, property located at 759 East 32nd Street, Hialeah, zoned R1, one family district, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Okay. Welcome back, Javi.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. President and council members. My name is Javi Vasquez. Our law offices are at 600 Brickell Avenue, and joining me tonight is our associate, Janelle Perez. Together, we represent Bar Holdings LLC, which happens to be items 19E and 19F of your agenda tonight. And I'm saying that because it's going to be an identical presentation, which I am going to incorporate by reference when I get to 19F. But basically, this involves 759 and 765 East 32nd Street. The history of the property tells a story. It was a house that was built in 1946, and the applicant bought the property, tore the house down. The property was built on two platted lots. We're going to call them lots 20 and 21. Since they were legally platted lots, they went forward to build homes that are very similar in size with the surrounding neighborhood. The lot sizes are similar to the neighborhood, but they came to the realization when it was demolished in 2024, that they needed these variances. And the request is a variance to permit a variance permit to allow the construction of a two-story single-family home on a substandard lot having a lot width of 40 feet and a total area of approximately 5,440 square feet. And we're also applying for requesting a front setback of 20.17 feet where 30 feet are required. And again, the lot sizes that resulted are very consistent with the lot sizes in this area of Hialeah. The staff is recommending approval of this application with conditions, one being that we enter into a declaration of restrictions to develop the property as a site, as a single-family residence in substantial accordance with the plans that we submitted with our application, and that we proceed with the site plan and concurrency process subject to the hearing approval. So again, staff is recommending approval. We know of no opposition in this situation. As I told you, these are two lots. 19F will be the sister application, and we would respectfully request your approval in keeping with staff's recommendation and that of your planning and zoning board.
Thank you, Javi. Pleasure or comments from the council?
I motion. We've done narrower than this non-conforming lots. So this is not unreasonable. Motion.
Thank you. I got a motion.
Second.
Please take roll.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for December 9th, 2025.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Item 19F, first reading of proposed ordinance granting a variance permit to allow the construction of a single-family home on a substandard lot having a total area of approximately 5,440.8 square feet, where 7,500 square feet is a minimum required, allow a lot width of 40 feet, where 75 feet is a minimum required, and to allow a front setback of 20.17 feet, where 30 feet are required, all in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, sections 98-499 and 98-348, subsection 8, property located at 765 East 32nd Street, Hialeah, zoned R1, one family district, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you.
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Or comments? Second, take roll.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for December 9th, 2025.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Item 19G, first reading of proposed ordinance granting a conditional use permit pursuant to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, section 98-181, to allow a two-story, 2,212 square foot addition to an existing assisted living facility and to increase the facility's capacity from 40 beds to 72 beds, granting a variance permit to allow the expansion of a legal non-conforming use existing at the site since 1990, allow a front setback of 20 feet where 25 feet are required, allow lot coverage of 39.2%, where 30% is a maximum allowed, allow 24.96% pervious area, where 30% is a minimum required, allow 10 parking spaces where 24 parking spaces are required, and to allow all parking spaces fronting West 30th Street to back out into the right-of-way, where back-out parking is only allowed in low-density residential properties, all in contrast to the Hialeah Code of Ordinances, Section 1-12, subsection B2, 98-589, Section 98-2056, subsection B2, 98-2189, subsection 21, 9-3, subsection A3, and the Hialeah Landscape Manual, updated July of 2025, Section E, entitled Tree and Lawn Requirements by Zoning Classification. Property is located at 71 West 30th Street, Hialeah, zoned R3, multiple family district, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
If I may, through the chair?
Yes, please.
Javi. So this is now gonna be 72 people, right? And only 10 parking spaces for the staff? How does that work?
If I could, this is first reading and I haven't had the ability to make a presentation on this application. I would love the opportunity to.
Oh, you have a presentation prepared?
Absolutely. It's not a long one, but
Okay, good.
we do have,
Wonderful.
some pretty
Please
pictures
do.
for you, and this is my first opportunity presenting
Yes,
the
thank
case
you.
to the
Go ahead.
council. So once again, Javi Vasquez, 600 Brickell Avenue, and again, Janelli Perez joining me from my office. I'm here on behalf of Galajaz Investments, which operates the existing ALF as Trinity Garden. Joining me today is Mr. Carlos Cardoso from DTI, which is our architectural group. And I also have with me tonight Alex Aleman and Janet Suarez, who are part of the existing ownership group. The property, as was stated on the record, is 71 West 30th Street, and it's an existing ALF that's been in place since 1990. I have the pleasure, and for whatever reason, my practice has all of a sudden gone in the direction of assisted livings and skilled nursing, and it just happens to be, I think it must be related to the demand that there is for it in our community. But I have the pleasure of seeing a lot of these places, and I know of very few assisted living facilities that have impressed me as much as Trinity Garden. Not only have I seen them as part of my practice, I went through the process with my parents. So I just wanted to state for the record that taking my hat off for a moment as their attorney, I was very impressed by the cleanliness, the conditions, and how happy everybody is in the center. The request is for a conditional use permit to conform with the current city regulations, as well as a variance permit to expand the assisted living's capacity from 40 to 72 beds. There are 4 variances that accompany our request. A front variance of 20 feet where 25 are required, lot coverage of 39.2 where 30 are required, 24.96 pervious area where 30% minimum is permitted, and yes, a variance of 10 spaces where 24 are required. I can get a little bit more into detail as to the proposed expansion. It's going to take place on a proposed 2-story building addition to the east of the property. It'll be connected to the existing building by a proposed covered recreational area at the center of the buildings, acting as a bridge, if you will. And the proposed covered bridge area will be accessed through an elevator and a staircase. The first floor between the existing and the proposed addition will provide a new open recreation area to the ALF residents. To your concern, Monica, assisted livings, skilled nursing centers, and group homes of the like have a very different standard and a very different issue when it comes to parking. Why? None of the residents drive. So we're talking about minimal parking requirements that are necessary for staff and for visitors. I was just asking my client, if a resident came that drove, would you take them? And the answer is no. They have that as a policy where none of their residents will ever be driving on the property. If we look at the staff conditions, and before I forget, let me mention something that I didn't say in the presentation. Staff did request for us to provide a parking analysis to evaluate the impacts of the increase in beds, since the additional employees will be required to operate the additional beds. And the city's traffic engineer, who happens to be a person who I highly respect, provided a report, and it was Mr. John Kim with Bowman. And he specifically stated a few things that I'd like to just read in the record. 1, please revise the report to indicate the number of people currently employed. 2, please provide a parking management plan that will mitigate instances where site parking demand exceeds the existing parking supply. 3, please provide a signed and sealed copy of the parking study. And 4, development order condition may be included as part of the approval of this project that will stipulate the need for additional parking management strategies when the city is made aware of a problem. So we have agreed to not only do the parking study. One of the conditions, in addition to the study that I just read into the record, states that at no time shall the ALF parking demand negatively impact the public right of way. It is prohibited to block the public sidewalk. The property owner and the ALF operator shall ensure that employees and visitors do not tandem park and block any sidewalks or right of way. And a parking management strategy shall be in place to address any parking issues. So we have done all of that. Prior to site plan approval and permitting, we will have worked even closer to the parking consultant, the parking and traffic consultant, to address these issues. But what I want to highlight, as Monica, there's a long answer to your question. What I want to highlight is ALFs group homes, senior livings, the ratios are proven. The business model is proven as it relates to the number of parking spaces that are needed for these places to succeed. And the city has made us very aware that if and when a problem ever were to arise, that we need to be prepared to act. And that includes offsite parking for employees and things like that. So I'm truly hopeful that that will not skew your opinion about the application. Like the other application just before this, it comes before you bearing a recommendation of approval from both staff and your planning and zoning board. And I hope you'll approve it.
So my question was, how much staff is required at this location with 72 beds?
And then his sort of.
Hi, good evening. How are you? My name is Janet Suarez. The address of the ALF is 71 West.
I'm sorry, your position, please, and your business address. Thank you.
I'm the administrator for the ALF. Part owner, as my brother as well, that he's also here. So pretty much right now we are overstaffed, meaning we have more employees that we need. We're fully, we are pretty like 40 beds. We have the 40 beds completely full. And like I said, we're overstaffed at times. Like during the day, me and my brother, we actually come a lot, together in the same car. And we only have 2 cars parked, which is my assistant administrator and another employee that comes in a car. The other one lives like right next door to it. So they, unfortunately, fortunately for us, but unfortunately for them, a lot of them, they don't drive. So they get dropped off a lot of the times. But to answer your questions, like I said, we're overstaffed right now. So we, in case we do have another, 20 more, if you guys allow us to do that, we're probably going to be needing another 3-4 employees.
So what's the ALF ratio? Like how many patients per staff? What's what you have to have by ACA?
By ACA, you need, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have the exact number, but I believe you need an employee per every 6.
Every 6 patients?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. And these patients are going to live there, they're going to sleep there, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So you constantly need to have for every 6.
Not at night though. At night they work, it's different. They're different during the day because during the day you need like help with bathing, assistant, like the cook for the, at night you don't need as many. You probably, you need less employees.
So 12.
Correct.
If you have 72, you need 12 employees.
Correct. And right now we have 15.
You have 15 at the moment.
The other, if I could.
So that's.
If I could add, the other thing that they have secured is that with the building next door, they have asked the property owner and we can enter into a lease agreement with them. And we're happy to bring it in prior to site plan approval, showing that we have access to their parking, a cross parking access agreement type of that we can enter into if needed. And we don't anticipate needing it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Through the chair,
Yes.
Mr. Vasquez.
Yes, ma'am.
So there's 15 employees and there is that benefit that they don't drive, but what if there's new staff, right? Rotation of staff, those staff have. So if there's 15 and there's a possibility of total of 18, what about visitor parking? Because in ALFs, right, you have the visitor parking. I foresee a parking issue. And again, I know we've brought this up.
If I can add, if you don't mind me, we were the owners of a 72 facility that we sold 2 years ago. 2 years ago. That now is another assist. It keeps being as an assisted living facility. We had 72 beds. We only had 6 parking spaces. That it was approved by you guys because we had it like going backwards, and you guys wanted to be like to the sides. So we lost 3 spaces because we previously had more. And with that change, we lost parking space. And even then, we never had issues. Unfortunately, a lot of the times, these patients, a lot of them have families, but a lot of them don't.
Right.
So,
No, I understand. I have my grandma.
Yeah.
in the
Let me
one.
address your concern because it's a valid concern. I've made it very clear to my client, to Mr. Aleman, who's not here right now, that a backup plan has to be in place if parking ever does become a problem.
Mhm.
I don't anticipate it. They don't anticipate it. But like you said, things could change. You might have employees today that don't drive or that carpool. In the future, that could
Right.
change. They have to have a backup plan, not only with their neighbor, but they have to have a backup plan with off-site other facilities that they own so that they can shuttle employees if needed. But the demand for this service is so severe in this community,
Mm-hmm.
and the ratios are proven that this will work with the parking that it has, that, like I said, I would hate to see this application not approved with that because of that concern.
Claudia, I have a question. Thank you, Javi. I have a question. So if this were to get approved and there is a parking issue 3 years from now, what is the enforcement that we do on that?
We will basically first, we will have a declaration in place. So we have that as a tool to use through the declaration of restrictions. And also we'll have probably code enforcement and police in case of if a vehicle is blocking a sidewalk. I have seen in other locations that actually they tandem park and they block the sidewalk. So we can also use those resources as well.
So if the complaints come in, it would be in the declaration that we have that, and then through code, they would be required to. What is the back alley? I'm looking here at the facility.
It's an open alley.
It's an open alley
it's
because I
an
see
open
cars
alley.
parked.
Yes, it's an open alley. They are not technically, parking spaces, but you can see that all those businesses and residents, they use that alley.
Right.
Yeah.
And I hope it gives you comfort that we have submitted that declaration of restrictions, which gives you all the teeth you need.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Through the
Thank-
chair?
Yes, please.
No, go on.
Sorry, I just had one more question. Claudia, for ALFs, what is our requirement?
For parking, for ALF, we have, it's one parking space every 3 beds. So that's why we have 72. We require 24.
Right. It's a big variance, right?
Yes, it is. Yes. Mhm.
Is there any other design in this where we can add any parking, Javi? Do you know?
Architect.
So
Because I'm looking at, yeah, I'm looking at what's currently there now, right? Or I was looking at it. What's currently there now, and it looks like the left-hand side, right, is all the beds, and then on the right-hand side, is it maybe like a patio or for them to kind of go outside, get some fresh air, but now the new design is gonna be all around, is that it?
Yeah. Carlos Cardoso, 14125 Northwest 80th Avenue, Miami Lakes. It's, what we're doing is basically enclosing the space and creating more of a central location there. The area that we're actually building on is really not used very much in the sense of, people using that area. It's basically just grass. So they're trying to maximize, that area so that they can actually consolidate where the people are going to be, hanging around, keep in mind that the structure has been there since 1990, the existing building. And the area that, where it's located, it's a residential area. So people are already backing out into the street in that area. So it's really not changing the way that, traffic flows in that area.
And if I could, let me add, if we were to seek some type of creative design going into the property,
Mhm.
we wouldn't be able to accomplish that without putting the safety and the life of the residents in peril, because again, they're walking around and we would have to be putting cars into that area. So
the 10 parking spaces are the 10 parking spaces that are there now. So we're basically adding 32 new beds with 0 additional parking.
And I know that that's what you're seeing as a visual, but
Okay.
the 10 that are there today are an abundance for 40 beds.
Okay.
Sorry. You were going to say something?
Through the chair.
Yes.
The math is not there. One staff member per 6 beds, that's 12 parking spaces. We're already overflowing. There is no way, what you said, Claudia, as far as code and everything else, we don't need a declaration of restrictions for that. That's already in our code. I don't see how they can possibly not tandem park there. Because unless you're going to be below the standards that ACA requires, you're already short two spaces there. And then where do the visitors park? What happens, you know? I mean, I don't see the math. I don't see the math. There's no way they are going to, I know it says here, they're not going to block the right of way. They're not going to block the sidewalk, no tandem parking. Again, it's like a repetition, a parking management strategy. This is something we may inherit. The parking management strategy, I don't know what that's going to be, but just how's the math work out? If they need 12 employees during the day, I'm, you know, how's that? I get it. At night they need less. But where do the other 2 park?
And Mr. Zogby, if and when parking ever were to become a problem, that's where the parking analysis and the program that we've been talking about has to kick in. That's where the owner has to find a solution off-site. That's where he has to start incorporating parking for his employees at his other locations and potentially shuttle his employees to this location. But up until
It's like, there's 3 shifts. So there's not 12 employees from the morning,
Go ahead.
not 12 employees, you know, so it's 3 shifts. We have employees that come from 6 in the morning to, from 7 in the morning to 3 p.m., from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m., and from 11 p.m. to 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning. So we have 3 shifts. There's 12 employees that we need to have throughout the day, not at the same time. That's why we're saying, like,
How many
during the-
employees do you have at
like
the
in
same
the
time?
morning, we have me, which I'm usually there with my brother, which is us 2. Like I said, we come in the same car pretty much every day, not every day, but like pretty much throughout the week, last 4 times a week. And then we have my assistant administrator, the person that cleans, that she doesn't drive, the person that lives next, actually to very next door in the next building. So that's another employee. And then we have 2 more that they get dropped off. So when you go in the morning, you can go at any time during the morning and you're gonna only see 2 cars parked. 10 cars. Sometimes they come, a social worker might come. She uses the parking spaces for maybe half an hour. She leaves like that. Again, none of the patients or the residents in this case, they drive. So when you go in the morning, you usually see, like I said, I had this 72 patient facility and 6 parking spaces were enough planning. We never had issues whatsoever. And I don't know if you can see in the records, we don't have issues with parking spaces at all. We don't call the cops. I don't know if you can see that somewhere in the city, you know, we don't have complaints about parking, so.
Did you ever have anybody tandem parking, one in front of the other there?
No, because like I said, we usually have a lot of parking spaces as we, you know, right now, like I said, you can go drive by whenever you guys want.
No,
and you
but
see, and it's
if we
pretty
drive
much
by
empty.
now, there aren't 72 beds. So that doesn't apply right now.
Well, there's
About her
4,
other,
like her other facility, like I said, we
You
never
don't
had
own
issue.
it anymore though,
I
right?
know, but like I said, 2 years
What's
ago.
the
we-
address?
The address is 68 West, 7th.
How many beds was that? Sorry?
7th Street, yes.
68 West 7th Street. Okay, and that, how many beds did that one have?
That would, back in, I don't know if I think they probably put it up, but it was 72 bed facility. That was called Revival Home, 68 West 7th Street. Revival,
Revival, yeah.
yeah. So we were the owners of that. Like, again, we never had issues with parking spaces. And we only had 7.
Okay.
It's 6 regular and 1 wheelchair.
Okay.
The picture that comes out on Google Earth
Very dark, yeah. Does it show any tandem on
It
Google?
does, but it actually shows a car blocked, blocking two other cars. But
I don't know,
that's
but when I always saw the, like I said,
Still, it's
in
still
this
12
case,
employees.
yeah,
in this case, we have 10,
right.
which is, you know, and like I said,
I have a question, and it's just, I know Mr. Vasquez brought up the presentation, but we only saw the first slide. Is there other slides that show the design?
It's still not.
Yeah.
If it's six,
Put it
for
up.
every 6 patients, there's 1 required staff. So even if there's 3 shifts, they need to have 12 personnel there at all.
no, it doesn't work like that.
For every
Not at all times. You don't need to have that many employees. You need to have if you, like, for example, in this case, you have, like, in the morning shift, I have about 6 employees, the cleaning lady, you don't need to have at all times, because after pretty much dinner, you don't need to have that many employees. So after dinner, 5, you serve, I still have 3 employees there, 3. And pretty much after 11, the one that comes, there's 2 employees that come at night.
Yeah, but the concern is
You
not at
don't
night.
need-
The concern is during the day when there's family, when there's social workers, when there's traffic on the street. During the night is, that's the least concern. I think during the day, that foot traffic is what's most concerning with the increased beds and not a flexibility to increase parking.
Councilwoman, let me do this. I'm sensing heartburn, right?
So,
Go ahead.
I hear you, but Claudia, question for you, and we don't have to say the business name. I know there's business around us that I walked in at night and the daytime, and they have, it looks like their business model right now. You know what I'm talking about? There's other places around here that I've seen this model right now. And you know what I'm talking about before I continue?
Other ALF,
I don't want to say the name of it.
other ALF.
I don't want to say it. So I guess it. So have you seen other business models like this, right? Or other ALF models like this?
With less parking?
No, with this model. I don't want to say the name, I guess. So I've seen this model of ALF around the East Hialeah. Actually, I've seen quite a few of them. And I did notice what you just said. They were busy in the morning and they were just dead at night. So I'm just making a comment, Council. I noticed there was literally an empty parking, but they were really busy in the daytime. Okay, so Mr. Zoc, we know I'm not gonna say anything.
Do we have, I think what he's trying to ask, do we have similar 72 unit ALFs in the city that have only 10 spaces available?
We do.
We do.
We
I think that-
do, and I can provide you with those
Okay.
locations, numbers for the next time, so we can see
I
it.
know, but it just so happens, I'm sorry, every time people come up here, they always say that everybody doesn't have cars, that nobody drives to work, that everybody carpools. And I've never met an individual that doesn't have a car, that doesn't drive to work. And every application that comes here, everybody loves to
Yeah.
tell all of us that nobody drives to their job, everybody carpools. And I mean, I've never met those kind of people. So I mean, I don't know how
No, no,
believable this
And
is.
I
And
understand.
then it becomes our problem.
Understanding, and I know that currently they have 40. And I know this is not a technical resource or anything, but if you look at Google Images in this property and you go back in time, and you always see parking available during the daytime. So I know that it's just for 40 and that is not a technical resource, but at least it gives you a baseline of where you're standing with parking.
But we're increasing.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
not 40.
Yeah.
So let me offer this because I'm sensing heartburn in the council. We will request a deferral of this item today. Let us go back and get you very clear numbers on the staffing and the staggered shifts that we have to deal with. Let us come back with the lease agreement with the property owner next door to give us
That would help. The
at
lease
least 2 to
agreement.
3 more spaces.
How many spaces?
It's going to give us about 2 or 3 more.
Just
Like
for-
Claudia said, you look at this property anytime, and it's usually an abundance of parking available. We're not concerned about parking, but I can see where the concern is.
Yeah.
But I think if I come back and give this council, hopefully you guys will be here on the 9th. The clear, a little bit more of a clear picture with regards to the staffing and the staggered way that these things happen and some additional parking next door and a backup plan off-site. I think this council will feel a little
Through
bit
the
more
chair?
comfortable to
Yes,
proceed. with
yeah,
it.
yeah. No, thank you. Thank you for that, Javi. But Councilwoman Perez was absolutely right. The worker who lives next door can move. And that changes everything. The workers that carpool can stop carpooling. So these are moving targets. So yeah, that's a legitimate concern. So if you can do that, bring us some specific numbers. I'm willing to hear it again. And then a lease agreement with the neighbor,
Yes.
you said?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm willing to hear it again, yeah. It's up to you if you want it tabled.
If you want to
Listen,
table,
we would have much preferred to vote tonight, but I'm
Okay.
sensing a little bit of
Oh,
heartburn and I don't want to force the vote tonight.
Okay,
so the council president, I just want to be sure that applicant can submit
Motion to table.
and, right, but I just want to confirm that the applicant
Yes.
will submit the parking lease, and, description about staffing
Mhm.
and so forth for the next agenda, that you'll have it be placed in the agenda, not just show up with it, this evening. Is that possible, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
What date would that be by?
Okay.
First week of
Can I have a
December.
motion to table?
Motion
Second.
to December 9th, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, you got?
Mhm.
Okay.
Is that what you said? December 9th? Okay.
Yeah, we would have to submit the stuff by
Okay.
first week of December.
Thank you. Please take. roll.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Ms. Perez? Motion carries. The item is postponed until December 9th, 2025.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hans.
Item 19H, first reading of proposed ordinance amending City of Hialeah ordinance number 2023-124 to allow a 5-story multi-facility deployment with 52 residential units, superseding the previously approved 8-story multifamily development with 48 residential units, repealing variances, approving 17% of the units with an area of 692 square feet, where 850 square feet is the minimum area required, and allow 10% of the units to have an area of 600 square feet and waive the building mass and building frontage development standards, granting a variance permit to allow 48 multifamily units, 92% with an area less than 700 square feet, where 700 square feet is the minimum required, and only 25% of residential units may have a minimum area of 500 square feet. Allow 22% pervious area, where 30% is the minimum required, and to allow the mitigation of 6 parking spaces as per section 98-1579, subsection 7, all in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, section 98-1630.2, and section E of the Hialeah Landscape Manual updated July of 2025, entitled Tree and Lawn Requirements by Zoning Classification. Property located at 1116 Palm Avenue, Hialeah, Zone C2, Liberal Retail Commercial District, within the Neighborhood Business District, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you.
Good evening, Cesar Mestre with offices at 8105 Northwest 155th Street, Miami Lakes, Florida. You've seen this property before. This is Palm Avenue and 11th Street. This was actually approved, a project there with the MBD extension in December of 2023, which was 8 stories and 48 units. What we're requesting now is to change that project to a new project, which is only 5 stories and 52 units. So I have a small presentation. So you can see this is what the building will look like on the corner of Palm and 11. What was there before, a little commercial building, a mechanic shop, and dealership has already been demolished. It's vacant land now. So next slide. 116 Palm Avenue seeks to provide the residents of Hialeah with 52 units of high-quality, centrally located housing along a transportation corridor, which is also part of the extended Hialeah downtown urban area. Next slide. This is what the property looked like before they demolished it. It had a history of blighted residential industrial site, known for dumping, unsafe living conditions, and criminal activity. That's been demolished, and it's a vacant property right now. Next slide. What we're trying to achieve. The current zoning is C2 with MBD special use permit approved by the council in December of 2023. The proposed zoning is no change. Approve the zoning classification and a request for the variance in the unit sizes. The variance in the unit sizes is that they're actually smaller than they were before. They're below the 700 square foot per unit. They're all one-bedroom units also. Next slide. This is the current zoning. This is the ordinance 2023-124, which approved the neighborhood business district expansion, the 48 market rate apartment units, and it had an 11,000 square foot medical center, Univida, on the bottom floor. It was 8 stories, and the density was 70 dwelling units per acre. The new proposed site plan is for 52 100% workforce housing units at 140 AMI. The building height, instead of 8 stories, is now 5 stories. The density is still 70 units per acre, and the average unit size is 622 square feet. Next slide. We're proposing an increase in affordable housing stock and improved access, beautification of the area, improvements of public infrastructure. There's going to be a bus shelter, landscaping, artwork, enhanced access to transit, and other public services. Next slide. This is a rendering of what the building will look like, looking towards the northwest. This is the corner. The next slide is a different perspective, showing you the other side. They have balconies. Next slide. And one more, showing the corner. Actually, it's one more after that. The building has a fitness center of 1,244 square feet. It has a club room, a package room, a mail room, a bike room, office, leasing office, 2 elevators, and they will have storage for rent on the property as well. 2 elevators and 2 stairwells. There's going to be improvements to the bus stop. There's going to be, as I said before, 100% workforce housing at 140% of AMI. So we ask you for a vote of approval. We have a, again, unanimous vote from the Planning and Zoning Board, and we have a recommendation of approval with conditions from your staff. We've drafted and submitted the proposed declaration of restrictions. So we'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. There is also a shortage of parking, but since this is in the extended downtown Hialeah area, it's one of those 2 areas where you get to pay the $5,000. So that's part of this project.
More comments? Caesar, is the mitigation to pay for the 6 variance for the 6 spaces, is there any street side parking here or something? I mean, I get it, but where, if they need the parking, where are they going to park?
I think the whole idea behind this mitigation of the parking is that these are made kind of like the TOD, where you know that there's going to be folks that hopefully are using public transportation. We're going to, one of the things that they're doing is they're talking to the county and the city to put some crosswalks in, to enhance the bus shelter, things like that. So the idea is for people to start using more public transportation. In this extended downtown area, there is on-street parking, as you see up and down Palm Avenue. So I don't know if they're going to be doing some more, and I guess that's what they're going to use the money for, to create more on-street parking. But this area does have quite a bit more than a lot of the other areas in the city.
Yeah. Claudia, you wanted to add something?
With me, Jose Enrique Cueto,
Okay.
who's part of the principals.
Through the chair, Jose Enrique Cueto, 850 Northwest 42nd Avenue, Unit Capital Asset Management Group. Maybe what the director was coming up to say, that we are, in fact, Councilman Zogby, creating off-street parking. We have a total of 9 off-street parking spaces abutting the property, both on Palm Avenue and 11th Street. However, of course, as you all know, these do not count towards the parking count. So in total, we do exceed the total number of parking spaces required under MBD if those off-street parkings were to be considered, yes.
Gotcha. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And also some very welcoming, good-looking building for downtown Miami.
If I may, through the chair,
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful design for that area. Right now, what's there, the Palm Apartments?
It's a vacant lot. They
But
demolished what's
previously,
there.
it was.
There was a used car dealer on the corner. And then there was like a two-story little commercial building, I think had like a jewelry store.
Yeah,
And then there was a
think
mechanic
that's
shop next to that.
I think that the area needs it, so I think that's a great spot for this. The crosswalks and all those kind of different design that we're gonna add to that area, they're gonna be working with our street department to develop those enhancements that are needed to mitigate that area.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. And I mean, 100% of the units are designed for workforce housing, so I think that's fantastic. What right now is about that 140% of AMI? What's that going at?
You know what the number is?
Speaking to the mic.
Absolutely. Through the chair, Councilwoman Perez, at 140% AMI, the one beds are going off memory from the rental tables, about 2,100. The two beds are about 2,400, and the
Okay.
but we only have one bed, so really.
You only have one?
Yeah, so.
Okay, all
yeah.
right. All right, that's great. Thank you.
Do we have a more comments or?
Motion.
A second?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, you were gonna say something? Oh,
Got a motion? And I got a second.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for December 9th, 2025.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 19I, first reading of proposed ordinance rezoning property from R1, One Family District, and C2 Liberal Retail Commercial District to P Parking District. Property located at 612 East 27th Street and folio number 04310800012700, Hialeah, zoned R1, One Family District, and C2 Liberal Retail Commercial District, and legally described herein, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Mr. President, council members, my last item of the night, thank God. Again, Javi Vasquez, law offices at 600 Brickell Avenue, Janelle Perez, my associate. I represent Hialeah Hospital under the ownership of MPT, Hialeah Stewart. This is the southeast corner of East 27th Street and 6th Avenue. MPT has purchased those two lots with the intention of using them for parking. As you guys know, the parking structure on the east end of Hialeah Hospital is being demolished, and they're having to be creative to resolve temporary solutions. This parking will house visitors, it'll house everyone, and then once the new garage is built, it'll be specifically for staff. There's an alley, just as an FYI, there's an alley between the two lots and the hospital property that we're looking at the possibility of vacating that alley because we're going to be owning both sides, and it's going to make things much better for ADA compliance purposes and what have you. So we're hoping that you'll approve this application tonight. It's got a recommendation of approval. And before I close, there's no conditions that I have to worry about or bring to your attention. So with that, I'll respectfully close and request your approval tonight in keeping with staff's recommendation and with that of your planning and zoning board.
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
Do we have enough parking in this?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
That's not a nice car.
Barring any comments, absolutely. Motion.
Second.
Roll, please.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for December 9th, 2025.
And Monica, I'd love to talk to you about clinical trials. I've gotten
Okay.
to learn a lot about it because not only because of the cancer that I went through, but I've gotten, as you all know, I'm very involved with pediatric cancer. And pediatric trials are a great thing because they lead to, findings, and they don't just become part of the public usage without FDA approval. They're just that, they're trials. So we'll talk about it.
Yes, perfect.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Thank you.
Item 19J, first reading of proposed ordinance rezoning property from RO Residential Office District to R33 Multiple Family District, granting a special use permit to allow the expansion of the Neighborhood Business District overlay in relation to a proposed multifamily development, including 6 residential units pursuant to Hialeah Code of Ordinances 98-161, granting a variance permit to allow residential use only where mixed use is required, to allow a front setback of 6.5 feet where 10 feet built to line are required for the balconies fronting East 49th Street, to allow 10.57% pervious area where 30% is the minimum required, to allow a partial waiver of minimum landscape requirements through landscape mitigation as per section 98-2235, and to allow 9 parking spaces where 10 parking spaces are required, all in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, sections 98-1628, 98-1630.3, subsection E1, 98-2235, 98-2189, subsection 16A, and Section E of the Hialeah Landscape Manual updated July of 2025, entitled Tree and Lawn Requirements by Zoning Classification. Property located at 258 East 49th Street, Hialeah, zoned RO, Residential Office District, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Deja vu.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, my name is Bill Riley. Office is located at 16343 Southwest 256th Street, joined by my colleague Felix Lasarte. And together we collectively represent the property owner. Mr. Chairman, a moment ago, we had the land use application on this property and a companion item. The companion item is going to be heard in the next item, agenda item. And I want to make a few statements on that because some questions came up. And while I was sitting for the other applications to be finished, I was able to get more clarity. One of the questions was, what is the uses abutting this property? And I mentioned that to my recollection, they were medical uses, and I was able to confirm that. So in this application 258, there is a doctor's office on one side of us at 266, which is Dental Cosmetic Miami. And at 250, there's a general practitioner's office, Augustin Martinez's MD, his professional office. This property is also used currently for medical purposes, and it's currently a dental office. As you know, I mentioned before from the picture, the property is a small lot. It's about 6,800 square feet. The existing structure on the site is about 1,700 square feet. And I mentioned before that the property was completely paved. They have parking for this site for the medical office currently, which demands a much higher parking requirement than residential. In addition to the number of parking spaces required, because it's a transient use, people coming in and out all day long, there's much more higher traffic volume. In our case, your professional staff worked with us and was very adversarial with regard to parking. He made it clear that this was a very high concern of the city and had us look into it, come back and reduce density and other items. We did all that, and we're before you today with a variance of 1 parking space. Now, what kind of adverse conditions could that create? If we look at the proposed site plan, the proposed site plan has a 3-level structure. The first level is going to be the lobby, and it's going to be all of the parking. So it's 9 spaces on the first floor. It's almost, even though we're providing pervious area, where I mentioned before there was no pervious area, we are giving some landscaping treatment. There really is no availability for a car to park anywhere outside that structure.
No.
It's almost lot line to lot line, except for landscaping strips. Now, there's no parking on the street, but there is a sidewalk. So the only adverse condition could be if a tenant was there and acting in a bad behavior way, they could park on the sidewalk. Now, we are half a block away from Hialeah Senior High School. And as we all know, that been Hialeah Senior High School there's a large police presence there all the time. So those people, if they ever obstructed the sidewalk, would be caught right away, and it would be corrected right away. Now, there's no ability to park on the right of way because even though it's an 80-foot right of way, there is a raised curb median, a large raised curb median in the center of the road. And in that median, there are large shade trees. I believe they're oak trees, and they're positioned about 6 feet apart, which wouldn't allow a car to be there at all. So the people that live here are going to know the parking restrictions. They're going to have to abide by those restrictions. And if they try to have bad behavior, there's really no ability for them to have an adverse impact to the area. So that after we talked through those items and we talked to your professional staff, we were able to earn their recommendation of support. In addition to the other items that I mentioned before previously, I wanted to say that we also provided, like your other applicants before you, we also provided a declaration of restrictive covenants. And in that covenants, we wanted to participate in 2 of the city's programs. One is we want to participate in the Friends of Highline program, and 2, we wanted to participate in the landscape mitigation program that the city has. And even though we have a variance for landscaping, we are increasing it to more than what it has currently. But because of the small site, we really just cannot have a 30% landscaping open space for such a small site. It makes it unfeasible for redevelopment and for improvement within the area. With that said, I hope I addressed all your previous questions, and I'm available for any questions you may have.
I motion.
Second.
Can you explain that again, though? No.
Sure.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Zogby.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for December 9th, 2025.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Item 19K. First reading of proposed ordinance rezoning property from RO Residential Office District to R33 Multiple Family District, granting a special use permit to allow the expansion of the neighborhood business district overlay in relation to a proposed multifamily development, including 10 residential units. Pursuant to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, Section 98-161, granting a variance permit to allow residential use only where mixed use is required, allow 4 multifamily units, 40%, with an area less than 700 square feet, where 700 square feet is a minimum required, and only 25% of residential units may have a minimum area of 500 square feet. Allow a front setback of 6.5 feet where 10 feet built to line are required for balconies fronting East 49th Street. Allow 10.56% pervious area where 30% is the minimum required. Allow a partial waiver of minimum landscape requirements through landscape mitigation as per section 98-2235, and allow 12 parking spaces where 15 parking spaces are required, all in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, sections 98-1628, 98-1630.2, 98-1630.3, subsection E1, 98-2189, subsection 16A, and section E of the Hialeah Landscape Manual, updated July of 2025, entitled Tree and Lawn Requirements by Zoning Classification. Property located at 265 East 49th Street, Hialeah, zoned RO, Residential Office District, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Okay.
Again, Mr. President, members of the council, for the record, Bill Riley with office located at 16343 Southwest 256th Street, joined by my colleague Felix Lasarte, and collectively we are representing the applicant on this project. I won't be redundant, or I'll try not to be redundant, and the fact that this application is almost a mirror image of the one that you just heard. With the exception of, I do want to answer some questions that were raised before. The same question was asked, what kind of uses abut this building? This building is currently used as a podiatrist office. So it's also in the medical field. There is a medical practice located to our north, which is Jorge Bartelo's MD's office. The property located to our east appears to be unoccupied, from everything I could look online, and it doesn't seem to be, used for any purposes currently. But I just wanted to say that I did that research because I wanted to make sure I answered your questions. And I also wanted to apologize when I was, came up last time, I was asked about the density. I was thinking about something else. And I gave you guys, I made a misstatement. So I'm gonna beat myself up about that misstatement for the next 5 days. But everything else with associated with this application is the same. The same parking issues with regard to the community, same no parking on the street, same first floor covered parking structure, same 3-story structure that we have, and the same declaration restrictions that we're proposing. So we want to participate in both of the city's programs. We put that in a draft covenant for your attorney's review and consideration. And with that, in an effort not to be redundant, rest and be available to answer any questions you may have.
Motion.
Second.
Roll.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for December 9th, 2025.
6
Thank,
weeks.
thank you all very much.
You're lucky we're hungry.
Item 19L, first reading of proposed ordinance granting a variance permit to allow 3 on-site parking spaces and 2 on-street parking spaces where 11 parking spaces are required. Allow 7.7% pervious area where 10% is the minimum pervious area required, and to allow the mitigation of 1 tree as provided by section 98-2235. All in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, section 98-2189 subsection 7 and section E of the Hialeah Landscape Manual, updated July of 2025, entitled Tree and Lawn Requirements by Zoning Classification. Property located at 223 West 27th Street, Hialeah, zoned M1 Industrial District and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Is there someone here representing this item?
Through the chair, I don't see the applicant, so I will have requests if we can table this item to next meeting.
Perfect. Motion to table, just, I'd rather the applicant be here so we can
Motion.
have that discussion.
Have a second.
Second.
Please take roll.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is postponed until the city council meeting of December 9th, 2025.
Thank you.
Item 19M, first reading of proposed ordinance granting a variance permit to allow a building height of 49 feet where 40 feet is the maximum height allowed. Allow a front setback of 4 feet where 20 feet are required. Allow 24 parking spaces where 29 parking spaces are required. And allow 1 loading parking space where 3 loading parking spaces are required. All in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, section 98-1074 subsection 8, 98-1069 subsection 8, 98-2189 subsection 22, 98-2202 subsection 1. Property located at 4148 East 8th Avenue, 780 East 42nd Street, and 790 East 42nd Street. Hialeah Zone C2 Liberal Retail Commercial District and legally described in Exhibit A. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Claudia, quick question for you. Quick question for you. I'm sorry. On this, on the restrictions, as far as conditions, I'm sorry, the applicant should update western 6-foot metal picket fence and basically landscaping edge at all times. What does that mean? You're gonna have the grass cut all the time? What do you mean by that?
No, no, no. I provide a lush western landscaping edge, so it's basically a lot of landscaping along the property line
got
to the west.
Sorry, thank
Yeah.
you. Sorry.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
I apologize. Only question I got.
Motion.
Council, motion, can I get a second?
What is going in this project? What is this project?
It's a self-storage facility.
Oh, it's a storage facility.
Right,
Okay.
but when you look at the rendering, it looks like an office.
Sorry. Name and address, please.
Felix Pardo. My office address is, pardon me, because I just.
No,
went
no,
blank for a
I'm
minute.
sorry. I was just asking a question. You didn't have to.
So my office is 2100, office address is 2100 Salcedo Street, Suite 303. I am the architect of the project. I represent this company now for about 15 years. And what we did is we've designed this project with full staff collaboration, if you will. And I have to tell you before I start any presentation, I have to commend your staff as being extremely professional. The city of Hialeah is very fortunate to have the planning staff that you have now. We were very fortunate also to go before the planning board, and we were approved unanimously with the conditions. Sometimes I don't like to ask for variances, but the thing is that sometimes the square peg doesn't fit in the round hole. So just so you understand, from a parking standpoint, I know that that is an issue. Normally, most municipalities, most jurisdictions require for self-storage to have one parking space for every 10,000 square feet. City of Hialeah requires one per every 4,000 square feet. We have a variance of just a couple parking spaces, but at the same time, we know for a fact that we will never, ever have any issue whatsoever with that. The second thing is that because we are on such a high-trafficked area as Lejeune Road, we know that by pushing the building up onto Lejeune, it is basically where the face of the original buildings were that were there. Most of the buildings have been demolished. There's only one left to be demolished once we permit our building permit. The second thing is that we made sure that on the south side, we left almost 67 feet of a buffer area separation from single-family homes on that side. On the north side of that property, which is very unusual, we have a fire station directly across the street. So therefore, we were very careful of putting our ingress and egress on the south side of the site. So by doing that, we're opposite to the restaurant on the south side, but at the same time, we're not providing any type of encumbrance whatsoever to the fire station to the north of us. The third thing is that we requested a little more height to be able to give the neighbors more of a buffer. So the landscaping buffer that we have on the north side is extensive. We do not have any type of traffic issue, parking issue, or noise issue in the use that we have. So the final thing that we did is we have a 4-story building, but our floor-to-floor dimension is only 10'10", which means that when you look at that and you look at the rendering, the building looks like a 3-story building. So what we did is we're just a little bit over the allowed height, but we have to count it to the parapet. We did do that. When you look at the building, we provided on the ground level storefront canopies to give a human scale. And then we also provided the fenestration in such a way that most people will look at it and they will swear that it's a 3-story building. Because of the use, normally when we abut any type of residential area, and when I say abut, I mean adjacent, not literally against it. The neighbors are very, very happy because we provide a zero type of negative impact to the neighbors. We will have limited office hours, so therefore the use is not 24/7. It's very limited, and we are providing all the restrictions that were requested and required by both staff and approved by the planning board. So I would rather not go through a full-blown presentation because I know you're very tired at this time.
Thank you. Council,
You have a motion.
can I have a second, please?
Second.
Please
Ms.
take-
Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for December 9th, 2025.
I was
Thank you,
just
and have a
laughing.
nice Thanksgiving.
Thank you. I was laughing. I see some YouTube video of people living in there. So that's how I was smirking about that.
Our
Thank you.
leases are very good.
Thank you.
Belis, I have a question. In our agenda, why do some items state the lobbyist representing the item and some don't?
So they should all be there. It's just that today is the first day that Gabby received training for the lobbyist.
Okay.
But we verified, he's not a lobbyist because he's an architect.
Okay.
So,
Architects,
general, no,
architects and
nothing.
engineers were carved out because they're technically there to answer like
But I,
professional kind of architectural, right?
so normally if a lobbyist is not listed on the agenda, it's because they have not registered and shouldn't be speaking.
I believe that I am also registered as a lobbyist here in
Oh,
the city of
good,
Hialeah.
good. Thank you.
You bet.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned.